What's up, everybody? My name is Ron Amos, and welcome back to Less Pressure Podcast. Today's special guest is a fellow dancer and artist. Everybody, please welcome Rico.
What's up?
What's your last name?
Mercado.
Mercado.
A lot of the times I say market because Mercado translates to market
like
from
grocery
Spanish.
Store.
Yeah. And when people realize that, they're like, supermercado, supermarket. I'm like,
Rico grocery store, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm really excited to have you because the way I've been going about this situation with the guests and everything is I try to bring on people that kind of inspire me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact that like when I watch your freestyle videos, dude, like that stuff, it moves me a lot of the time.
I appreciate that.
All those videos, like the ones you post on your stories and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, like what the fuck is this kid going through? I'm like
Too damn much.
I mean, like I felt it though. Like that's real shit though.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Where does the emotion come from?
Bro, that's crazy because like before I came here, like when I was just at home chilling, this was like one of the questions in my head that I was like, I'm gonna answer this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people asked me that actually, and one of the last people to ask me that was Jalen Willis, and
Okay.
I actually gave her this really long explanation. So basically, and I like wrote it down in my notes too because I was like, damn, I
want to
was
hear this
spitting.
long explanation.
So basically, dance for me, it's so emotional and impactful, and especially when I dance to certain songs that I know I personally relate to. My whole thought process is, what are they saying, and how can I mimic their lyrics? How can I mimic words into movements? How can I make like what you hear? How can I translate that into what you see? What you hear and what you feel when you hear it. How do I give you the same feeling or more visually? How can I do that? And like, for example, I was dancing to this one song, it's one of my favorite songs ever. It's called I Know You by Faye Webster. And she says, like, I'll quiet down if that's what you want. And, like, basically saying, I will give you whatever you want, even if it's in exchange for my own feelings. And honestly, like, this whole year, like, that's kind of been a lot of what I've been going through, which absolutely sucks. And, like, but I've been getting better now and exploring self-love and being like I know that I have to be my priority before everyone else and not put someone else above my own self simply because I don't want them to leave, to get out of my life.
Right.
But at the time that I did that little freestyle and posted it, that's exactly what I was going through. So it was like not only do I relate, but I feel it. That's exactly what I'm going through. So how do I put my feelings and my emotions into movement, into dance? How do I paint that picture of exactly what I'm feeling? And I have this thing written down in my notes because I was also talking to my friend Marlon about this, and she was like, "You have to write that down." It's the first thing I did.
Is this Marlon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, dance to me is to portray the lyrics of music through movement.
Okay.
And yeah, just transforming from something that's auditory to something visually. Like that's just a big thing for me. And even it doesn't always have to be like sad shit. Or can I cuss?
Yeah,
Bet.
I cuss on here all the time.
Because I'm like, I don't, because I cuss hella. But yes, it's not always like sad shit, but just things in general, or even like happy music, where it's like, how does that make me feel? I'm like, I just need to be able to portray that, and that's what I love about dance. It's like there's a visual picture to it. There's a visual aspect to it, and it's just how to translate that.
So it's not acting for you at all.
No,
It's just all real.
yeah, yeah. I have to put emotion and intention behind everything I do, because otherwise I feel like it's not dance to me. It just feels, then yeah, it feels fake. It feels like acting, but I don't want to have to act. I need it to be real so that other people can feel that it's real as well. Because like, think about it, like acting. Like for example, when Janet Jackson did I forgot what that one movie is.
Poetic Justice.
Huh?
Poetic Justice.
Nah, nah. I forgot which one it was, but she had the scene where she was like breaking down.
This is
Oh,
the Tyler Perry movie.
it might be. It might be. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in so fucking long.
Yeah.
But when she did that, when she had their breakdown scene, that was like a few months after Michael had just died. So
Oh.
her emotion in that scene was so real, and she was taking from what actually happened in her real life and put it into that acting scene. And it's like, yeah, how do I just give what I'm feeling into what I'm doing?
Damn. That's it's like it's therapeutic in a way, you know.
Yeah.
And I love that because, dude, I can feel all of that shit. You know,
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that really appreciates when art imitates life, or just when you can feel like the integrity of the artist and stuff like that. And I always feel that from you. And that's something that every time when I've ever seen you do anything, I'm drawn to it in a different kind of way. And everybody else, I do appreciate movement from everyone else, but when you dance, I can feel it, and you're one of those like emotional like people. So
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is like that's what I'm trying to do. Cause for me it's like with dance, I just want to bring people together,
right,
and it's like, how do you do that? First of all, everyone feels emotions,
right,
so put people in like not in more of a vulnerable state, because then they're more inclined to like lean towards each other.
mm,
You know?
so would you say that like you're not an emotional person, but like, do you think that there's been good and bad parts of you being so emotional?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I would also call myself a super emotional
Yeah,
person. Like my whole life, I've been going through shit. Like every year is like a whole different challenge, and I'm like,
yeah,
so some days I'm like, damn, bro, when is this shit over?
yeah, I
Like when do
feel
I
you.
get the year that I'm happy from
The
like
start,
January 1st to December 31st? I'm like, damn,
yeah,
bro. But I mean,
that's life, man. Like
yeah,
life is, it's not a game, but it definitely is comes in waves. Everything comes in waves. Like the happiness, the sadness, the anger, all of it comes in waves. And the hardest part is like figuring out how to like deal with all of it and handle what you're feeling and shit like that. Cause like, dude, my year has been a fucking roller coaster itself
promise.
of just emotions and all types of stuff. And I don't use dance to deal with my emotions at all. I like I just use dance for like freedom of,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say expression, but like it just feels good to me. That's why I like dance. But I haven't like used dance to like emote very much, which I think I want to start doing pretty soon. But yeah, this year has been like a year when I just had to learn how to like process like what I go through and shit like that. I grew up not being a very emotional person, or maybe I was an emotional person at one point, but then I just stopped being emotional because thought that it was like a defense mechanism to like
Right.
protect myself from being emotional. But for you, like, have you ever experienced that, like trying to cut off the emotional part?
Yeah, yeah, I have. But you see, that's the thing. It's like even when I had um moments like that, still it was like then I was still dancing, and that was
Mm,
what I used to let go, and
mm,
it was more so like behind closed doors, and I wouldn't record it. So it's like, yeah,
mm,
I had moments where it's like I wanted to cut off emotions. Even this year I had moments where it's like I don't want anyone to see my sadness. I want people to think that I'm good,
mm,
even though I'm not. But it's like, okay, then I'm gonna try to take care of that behind closed doors. But I mean, yeah, that's just like you said, you don't really use dance to express yourself emotionally, or to handle those emotions, but that's always been my thing. Like dance has never turned its back on me,
mm,
so it's like and that's what sucks, because there was a point where like I was going through so much shit that I kind of let go of dance for a little bit, and I
mm,
felt like I was turning my back on dance. Like now, like
mm.
I feel like that's what I did, and I don't appreciate that I did that. But now that's why I give back to it so much. It's for that time where like I just neglected dance
Yeah.
overall.
How long have you been dancing?
Uh, Probably since I was like 2 3 years old. Like
Damn.
like
Well,
I started learning how to walk, and then my dad My dad showed me because I was born in 2004.
Damn.
And
Shit.
um,
Fuck. Oh wow. Dude, I was in
ABDC.
second grade.
Yeah, but ABDC, America's Best Dance Crew, that came out in 2001. That was when Jabberwockies won.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was
Damn.
2001.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That show. Was
My company actually, Extreme, before it became Extreme that it is today.
Yeah.
They were on it in
I heard
2001.
I heard they were on it.
Shout out JC.
So they were on the original season of America's Best.
Yeah,
So
shout out JC, shout out Robbie, bro. Like I
they're-
went back to look at those videos. They look so young. It
How
was
old
so
are they?
fun. They were
like
probably
40s?
today, yeah, but they were in like the 20s then, and it's so crazy to like look back. I don't know, when I found that out and I looked back, I was like, God damn.
That's cool though. So you're
Yeah.
like being trained by like the OGs, like people that's really
Basically.
been in it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But no, yeah. When I like really could start walking and doing my own thing, my dad, he showed me. Well, actually, at first he showed me Michael Jackson, and that was like,
Is your dad a dancer too?
nah,
Oh.
nah. He's just he loves art in all forms. That's what he does. My mom's actually the one. Her original dream was to become a dancer, like what I do now, and that's what I think is really weird, because the only reason she couldn't really fulfill out that dream is because she grew up in Mexico in the District Federal, which is like a super poor and kind of like ghetto. Well, now it's ghetto, but back then it was like a little safer. But it is like a rundown neighborhood. Like specifically my neighborhood. I mean, and they were really really poor. So much so that like today, like when my mom eats cornflakes, like she can't eat cornflakes without like crying a little bit, cause like to eat when she was younger, like to get cornflakes, but that was like winning the lottery for them.
Really?
And she was in a family of like 7, I think. So she couldn't ever really become a dancer or performer like the way she wanted to. But that's what also confuses me, because Mexican parents have such this like mindset of like you can't do art as a career. So sometimes they like both my parents be on my ass. Like just a month ago, I think my dad, we were driving and he was like, "Oh, when are you gonna give up dance?" And I was like, "Bro,
Damn.
I was like, dog, I've been doing this shit. I was like, bro, I've been doing this shit fucking as long as I've been alive, and you're still asking me this? That's crazy." But
That's an actual conversation y'all have.
I mean, I don't really give into that conversation anymore, because I kind of gave up trying to like prove myself to them, because like I know it's gonna work out one day, and right now they just don't see it, but like they're gonna see it someday.
Right.
Definitely. So it's like, and I know that in reality it's just because they don't want me to like fail in life. They don't want me to give my all to this one thing, and then I get hurt, I can't do it anymore or whatever. Like it's completely understandable, but at the same time it's like, and my homie said this. He was like, if you have a plan B, that's because you already put in your mind that plan A is going to fail.
Yeah.
So like that's like the whole thing is like, that's why I never really like did anything else other than dance, because I believed in it since I was young. I've believed in it so much that it's like I never wanted to give myself. I never needed a backup. I've never thought about a backup, because it's like I'm going to make this work.
Facts.
This is my only thing that I want. So I'd rather die than not see it through.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I'm not going to see it through ever. Even if I get hurt, even if I get paralyzed, whatever the case may be, I'm going to see it through in one way or another, in some shape or form.
With that being the case, don't get a plan B. I don't think it's worth it.
I have a bunch of extensive hobbies that a lot of people are like, "Oh, you could do that. Oh, you could do that." I'm like, "Nah," but those are hobbies. Like, there's a career and there are my hobbies. And a lot of people don't understand that, like, all the other shit that I know how to do, just because I know how to do, is genuinely just for fun. Because I'm such like a person where I just like to know random shit. Like I'm a jack of all trades. I do so much random shit for no reason, just because it brings me joy. But dance is like my everything. This is my career. This is just shit I do for fun. Like,
so what do you feel when you dance?
That's a good question. When I dance, it's, you see, the way I think about dance, me personally, I've never really heard anyone else think about it like this. To me, dance isn't just an action. To me, dance is a force of nature. The way gravity is, the
That was
way
beautiful. How do you say shit like that? That was fucking beautiful. Wow. All right.
the way gravity is and the way light is and wind and whatever the fuck else, like the way all is that just a force of nature. That's how dance is to me. So when I dance, I genuinely feel like I'm just becoming a part of something much bigger than just a human body. Like my soul is expanding. Like I feel so much more than just the action of, oh, I'm moving my arms, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's so much more beyond that, and that's what I feel like. And one analogy that I use all the fucking time, I'm a fucking huge comic book nerd, and my favorite superhero of all time is the Flash, and he has this thing called the Speed Force that he taps into, and that's what makes him run so fast. And to me, that's kind of how it is with dance. It's like when I'm about to dance, I'm tapping into this force of nature that allows me to do what I do. So I'm becoming just a beyond just my human body. I'm being more than just physical. That's what dance is to me, and that's how I feel when I dance. It's not just I'm dancing, it's I am becoming dance as a whole. Whatever dance is, that's what I am becoming while I'm dancing.
Wow.
That's my thought process.
That's like that was very profound. Like I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Yeah,
but
I've been doing this basically my whole life. Like
that's a great answer,
this is just how I've always thought about it. And growing up, that's been my mindset.
bro. You said your soul is expanding. Like that is my like life's goal, and not just with dance, but like my life's goal is to expand my soul to the maximum capacity and just elevate it to the highest realm. Like, and that's what dance is for you. You found the vessel towards that you could use to run towards that.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Like a lot of us have to like really search high and low to find that kind of stuff, and you found it within dance. And that's why I think that for you, I don't think it's necessary for you to find maybe a backup plan or something like that. Like maybe like a summer job or whatever, that's cool, get some extra money and shit like that. But like if you know what you want, and if you feel that like certain about it, there's no reason why you shouldn't try it. I mean, then you got the talent too. It ain't like you can't dance or no shit like that. It ain't like you're like, oh, maybe you do something else. It's like, nah, you got it. You're good. Like, go for that shit. And I think I remember the first time I ever saw you, you were in Magali's class.
Yeah.
So you did that one time.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you were that
2020.
young. I thought you were way older than that. Because you was how old were you? Like 16, 15?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was 16 at that
You were
time.
16, right? Didn't think you were like a kid. I thought you were like way older. But then you was in there and you was going off and shit. I'm like, damn, I'm finna dance like this motherfucker. I was like, God.
Bro, it was crazy. I'd probably look back at those videos now and think that, like,
oh, boy,
that was
cold.
garbage. I don't know. The way I dance now is so much more controlled and so much more, like, me that I'm like, I don't feel like any of that was good. Like, I saw some shit from, like, 2 years ago that I was like, that was whack.
Yeah, I guess. But I think that every artist is like, because I'll say the same, but it's like, as you elevate, everything that you've done behind you is going to feel that way. So even if that shit was still cold as fuck and was still valid, like you're better now, so it's gonna feel that way. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was whack, because that shit still tops a lot of the shit that I do and a lot of other people do right now. So don't even shit on yourself like that, because you raw as fuck.
Yeah, MJ said the same shit, because I told him that too, just a couple weeks ago. And he was like, yeah, and in 2 years, you're going to look back at today and think the exact same shit. I was like, I don't know. Maybe not, but we'll see.
And it's crazy because then you're so young, like you've only got time in front of you. That's all you've got is time to get better and to get even better than you are now. So it's like, if you feeling that way and you still elevating like that, I would love to see you in like 5-10 years. Like, damn, like you that raw? Like you could do, honestly, anything you want to if that's the way that you're looking at dance and stuff like that. So like, what are your actual like goals with it? Where do you see yourself going with it?
See, the thing is, like, I have one goal, and then I think, like, if I complete that, there's still more to that. So I don't really have an overall end goal, but I had a conversation with Bobby last night too. I was taking her class, but I told her, I was like, what I want to do with dance is I want to try and conquer the world, basically. And I've had so many conversations with so many different dancers about exactly what it is that I want to do. And speaking of MJ, I was having this conversation with him as well and a couple more people. I was saying I want dance to be important to the rest of the world, the way singing is, the way like you could, the way I could go down, knock on fucking some random person's door and be like, "Do you know who Michael Jackson is?" And they say, "Yeah," and then I travel halfway across the world, knock on someone else's, not just walk up to any random person and be like, "Do you know who Michael Jackson is?" And they'll say, "Yeah." So it's like I want to make dance so universal and make people care so much so to the point where it's like dancers become household names as well. And I know there's only so many people that are getting close or have gotten close, like Jabberwockies. Like a lot of people just know who the Jabberwockies are. They've done so much. Paris is getting up there. Like she just got a fucking shoe with Nike. Like she's moving up there, especially with the Super Bowl. People are like, who choreographed that? Oh, Paris choreographed that. Like,
Yeah.
and but it's only like a select handful, and if that, not even that much of a handful, maybe like a, you know what I mean? So, but I want to take it to where it's like dancers, artists, like they become household names and people care. And when I was having this conversation with MJ and a few more people, one of the dudes, he said yeah, but what he believes is hard about that is that the world is so selfish in its own way that it's like you'd almost have to change how everyone thinks in order for them to care about it. But I'm like, then that's my goal, to change everyone's mindset so that they care, because I care so much about this. And it's like, and speaking, this is a conversation I've had with one of my closest friends, and because we think the exact same way about dance. um Damn, I lost my fucking train of thought. But um
You said your friend. You had a conversation with him.
um oh, he was saying that he doesn't understand why it is the way that it is, why like people who sing, like singers, why everyone cares so much, and why dance is just kind of like this backbone or this like back end of like everything. And it's like people somewhat can't understand, because it's like the singers themselves are like, oh, I need backup dancers for this, for a show, for a music video, for this and that. But that's what he tells me is like we're always like on the back. We're always just like, you know, like I don't understand why it's kind of like underrated to the rest of the world, when dance is like this huge thing. Like dance genuinely can bring people together, and dance is, you know, the world's, maybe not the one and only, but to us like the one and only like real universal language,
Yeah.
where it doesn't matter where you're from or where you're from, what you speak or where you speak. It doesn't matter if we can't, you know, communicate mouth to mouth. Pause. Or like it doesn't matter if we can't like talk to each other and understand each other. It's like when we dance, now we understand each other. Now we can. So it's like if dance is that big, if dance is this whole thing, why doesn't the rest of the world like care that much? But this other dude, when I was having this conversation, he also told me, he was like, yeah, but it's much easier to decipher like what makes an amazing singer and a not so great singer, and who has amazing singing talent
Right.
and who doesn't, other than dance. And no, but I was like, yeah, that's kind of true, because we were talking about, you know, then we started talking about a certain choreographer from LA. I don't.
Oh, I know he's
I, yeah, I'm like,
I know he's
I'm like, I don't want to name drop here.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, like a lot of genuine professional dancers, like they feel this way, and we talk about it all the goddamn time,
Yeah.
about this one man. But it's like, yeah, like a lot of like people eat his shit up, like non-dancers, people who've never danced before, like eat his shit up and think it's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy that like he might be close to being a household name, but it's like he's not doing shit that like other people are doing. Like he's not doing shit that like Ian Eastwood's doing, or Sean Liu, or anybody else. Like he's not even at their level, but people see him as this fucking.
Well, the thing with that guy is he's figured out the like equation to make dance a business. He's figured out how to monetize it and how to make it digestible for everyday people. He's honestly the smartest dancer out there, because he's realized that
Smartest
it's
business dancer.
the smartest business dancer, and like. Hey, I took it to taking this class before. Like he's got
Same.
talent. He's got some skill. Like he's got skill, but it's it's different. It's just different. So it's not like because you would expect the people that you would want that kind of success out of the people that are the pioneers more so of like the stuff that really inspires us and stuff. But like I feel like the only way to reach audiences worldwide like you want to do is to kind of start off with what he's doing is make it digestible. And that, you ever think about like TikTok and shit like that and how like everybody loves a good TikTok dance, but you ask them, do you went to a dance class? They're like, why the fuck would I do that? You can get anybody to learn a TikTok dance because it's digestible. Dance is something that it's almost like karaoke. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ask anybody, do they want to do karaoke? They're gonna say yes. But you're gonna ask anyone, do they want to record an album? Nobody's gonna say yes. It's because it's digestible for the average person. So it's all about how do you make that digestible thing like something that people can make an appreciation out of, but I think it's doable. I think you just got to be smart. Now I think that if I don't have the answers to this for sure, but like I think that what he's doing could work, but then for anybody else, but you've got to start off super like simple, and then open it up a little bit more to make. We gotta bring them in some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? But then you gotta expand from once you bring them in. So that's why it's really hard because we got shows like So You Think You Can Dance with the Stars and shit like that, and people watch those shows, but I don't know. It's still hard to really make dance a household thing. Like I feel like the people that really watch those shows are like, well, Dance with the Stars is different, but So You Think You Can Dance. It's like people that watch those shows for real are dancers, and then people who like are maybe later in their life where they dance really ain't a thing for them. It's just something entertaining to watch on TV. Yeah. So it's just really hard to figure out how to make dance something that everyone can appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Because what I've learned about doing the dances that I do on my team is while we're dancing, nobody cheers for us. And that was something I had to get used to because when we're at like conventions or showcases with dancers in the audience, different kind of energy. You could feel the you know what I'm saying? When we be out there dancing and shit like that, you can't hear a single, like you'll hear some like slight roar sometimes like here and there, but for the most part, ain't nobody cheering, ain't nobody like they just watching us, they just looking at us, and then when we're done, they clap. So it's understandable why they're not. Like I don't get offended. Like you guys don't appreciate me. What the fuck? Like I'm not one of those people. But I think it's just like they just don't appreciate it the way that we do. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, oh yeah, it's cool, but they don't understand that like if you like something, you can cheer. Yeah. The same way you at a concert. But that's the thing. It's like when you're at a concert and you know the words to the song, you gonna sing the song, right? You gonna They can't do the dance with us.
Right.
They can't do the dance with. I mean, they could like move around and shit, like, or they could like, yeah. But like for the most part, they just be sitting there watching. Yeah. And that's something that you gotta learn about being a commercial dancer.
Yeah, but I mean, back to going to like what we started on is, I think that's also another reason why I'm such an emotional dancer and why I bring so much emotion into what I do is because, like, I also want to be able to tap into other people's emotions. And if I can tap into theirs, then it's like, okay, now they're going to watch me. If I can make them feel some type of way, it's like you can watch me, and now you can feel it. And that just goes back to me saying, like, how I, like, yeah, when you hear a song and you sing along and you feel it, like, that's just only something off of something you heard. But if you can see what you're feeling, like, imagine that. You physically see what you're feeling. You're like, I don't know, or I might not know what I feel. I might not be able to put it into words, but somehow this movement, that's how I feel.
You want to be undeniable. Like, you want to, like, oh, that makes so much more sense, though. Because
yeah, and then also I want to make people talk, like not not in a bad way, but also not in a bad way, because I have dance concept video ideas in my brain that are like, this shit is fucking ballistic. This shit's crazy,
I believe you.
and like people aren't gonna understand it, but people are gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be looked at as such a crazy and stupid thing. Like, why the fuck would you do this?
Mm-hmm.
But people, like, they're gonna be talking about it as a thing, and at the same time, that's also how I want to like kind of go at it of putting it out into the world, is like do such crazy shit that people are like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is that? You know?
So are you actually gonna put these videos, make them real?
Yeah,
As
yeah.
you
At,
do?
at some point, when I've become more of like a professional dancer, and I have like
What is a professional dancer though?
just like I mean, I feel like, because I consider myself a professional dancer today, and like especially
You ain't a professional dancer. I ain't a professional.
because it's also like there's like a textbook like professional dancer, but there's also like more to it. Like textbook is just like, oh, if you get paid to dance. So I do make money here and there from like doing certain things. So like I can go under the title of a professional dancer,
Mm-hmm.
but also I also look at it as like a career, and like how you go about your career, and it's like, are you constantly booking shows,
Oh,
are you constantly doing this? So no, I'm not constantly being
you
booked
want to be
for
a full
certain
time
shit.
dancer?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I see what
yeah, but what is a professional dancer like, to the extent that I want to do it to, is also like just having access to certain shit, like having like an agent maybe, or like certain shit, because like the way people direct movies, it's like, oh, they have to like do a whole set, or if it's an outside scene, they have to like shut down this whole road
you're.
and fucking only put extras in here to do this one scene. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I want to. That's what's the word I'm looking for. That's like, um, that's how important I want to be as just a dancer, is to be able to be like, oh, I want to use this space, so let's shut down these roads so we can film this. So I
Mm.
think when I have that much is when I want to just go ahead and do the crazy shit
Oh, so you
that
don't
I
want
have.
to do them now?
Nah, I mean, I have some that I would like to do now, and I did do one. It came out, I don't know, in August 7th, 18th. I don't know if you've seen it. It was called Exit 131.
Hmm. I
But it was
don't know
very
if I
it
said.
was very amateur. Like I want them to look more professional and be with like a whole like film crew and like a professional editor. But
Bro, let me tell you, like, you don't need all that. Like, okay, well, one, do you know Daniel Williams?
yeah.
Yeah, so you see his stuff.
Mhm.
That shit looks crispy as shit. Like, literally, if you just even connect with him or somebody like him, you can make some unimaginable things. And like, that's something, I'm in the same boat with you, because like, I really want to work with. I've worked with him before, but I want to work with him in a way where I'm creating the ideas and having him record them and stuff like that. But I just want to get into a space where I fully have time to give it the right energy. But I don't think you need to have a whole, like, I mean, that's a good goal to like get to that point, but like, I think you should still start now, because you know that's how you get practice. You
Mhm.
know, that's how you get those reps in and everything, and you get better at creating visual things. It's just you already create really cool visuals, the simple ones that you make already.
Yeah.
I think that like once you start doing them more, then that's just how you learn so much from just doing what you do and seeing how you want to get better, or seeing what you would change here and there and stuff like that. But I think that it would be really cool to see like more visuals and stuff from somebody like you that has like that super artistic brain and that could put out stuff like that. Just because like you already have the right intention with it already. So just to watch something from your brain would be very intriguing. To
Yeah.
be honest, like
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, that concept video that I put out in August, that was like the way I did it was exactly how I envisioned it, and I'm really glad that I was able to do it, even though, like I said, it was super like amateurish in the way it looks.
hmm
But still, I'm proud of it, and it was exactly what I wanted to create, and it portrayed like what was going through my head and how I was feeling, and it gave my genuine emotions a visual, which is like I said, is my whole thing that I do, and I'm super proud of it.
Damn.
But yeah, you should look at it. It was
I
pretty.
feel like I might have seen it, but like I feel like I've seen everything you've ever posted before, but I don't particularly remember that specific one. But I might have even seen it. I'm not sure if I have or not. But like, what was the concept of it?
Um, I was in a, and see, this is the thing. Like everything that I do has meaning to it, even if like you don't see it on the surface. So like,
Yeah.
I like to make shit that makes people think too. Like I want to one day like after I die, like, and if I complete my whole life's goal of making people care, like people are gonna make fucking super long theories about my dance videos, like the way they do with like movies or with like people's deaths or like conspiracy theories. Like people are gonna be making that shit of my fucking dance videos, and I'm never gonna come out and say exactly what I did.
Yeah.
But there's so much behind just the thought process of that video. But I was in studio. It started off with me laying on the ground, and then it like ghosts of me keep appearing at one point. Like I do this whole choreo section, and then in the song, Montel Fish was the artist. He's like vocalizing hella, but he's like kind of like screaming, like, and it's because he just like layered over all his vocalizations, and so to me it felt like messy in a good way. So I was like, that's also exactly how my head feels, like battling so many emotions at once. It feels like all scrambled. So the way I edited it, it was like ghost of myself kept coming in and freestyling, but not freestyling with foundation, freestyling just to go fucking crazy and stupid. And then like the original me that was in the beginning like disappears at one point, and it's just all these versions of me, all these ghosts of me, and each one is supposed to portray a certain emotion.
Sure.
And they're all just like dancing, going crazy, like all bunched up into each other. And then at some point they all kind of like fade away, and then it's like originally me again. That was the whole concept.
Hey, you're not gonna say what that was about.
Nah, I mean that you could get an idea with like even what I captioned it, and like what is in the caption. And there are some people who like understand because they've been there with me through certain like moments of my life. And so some people do know and understand what it is, but even then they still don't know everything. Like every last thing had such a meaning. Every little detail, from like what I wore to like the choreography, the way the choreography was set to the way it ended, and just a whole bunch of like every last thing.
Damn.
Every last thing. Like have you ever seen Stranger Things?
I've seen some of it. I haven't watched the whole thing though.
Yeah, so like Stranger Things or even like Gravity Falls, those are both shows where like they make you think so much, and it's like
Gravity Falls?
Yeah, have you never seen Gravity Falls?
The
Gravity
Disney show?
Yeah, it's a crazy ass show.
Really? I've never.
Like it is so beyond its time or before its time. Like
I haven't seen an episode. I know what it is though.
It's like it's such a crazy ass show. Like genuinely, like it could be like an adult TV show, to be honest. Like the way it like watching it as an adult is so different than, because like it's Disney and you were a child, like, oh, it's just Gravity Falls, it's just a cartoon. But like when you watch it now, like it'll make you think hella, and it's just so insane. But that's what it is. Like at the, like, say Stranger Things, for example, there'll be something in season 4 that actually happened back in season 1. You just missed it. You blinked and you missed it. You didn't see it, and that's why people have so many conspiracy theories about all this shit. And like
conspiracy theories.
Yeah. So like that's how a lot of my dance videos are too, and especially that concept video. Every little thing had such a meaning, and like I said, from everything, from the way I made the choreo, from like details go as far as levels. Like when people choreograph, it's like, oh, levels. Like there has to be dynamic in the choreo, but no, the way I did the levels, it has meaning as well. Every last thing. So it's just to make you think. And people, like, it was just an amateur video now, and then anything I put out after, it's like, oh, it's a dance concept, but I want for it to one day people just think about it so much. I want people to go back, like say 10 years. I want people to go back and look at Exit 131 and be like, oh shit, I caught this detail or I caught that detail, or maybe they don't. What's crazy is that speaking about like me dying, one thing that I've told my closest friend is when I am like on my deathbed, I do want to have someone or myself if I can make a really really long video, like say it's like a 24-hour long video explaining every last thing I ever did from like me today up until that point that I'm like about to die, explaining every last thing and like just an explanation for every little thing, and I don't want it to come out until after I've died. So on that day that I died,
just
that
the
shit,
videos or just everything in your life?
mostly just the videos or just everything that I've ever done with dance, because there's always going to be a reason and an extra hidden meaning behind it, everything.
Damn, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so
now
it's
I
like
see these videos.
so yeah, it's like when I do die and that video gets released, like everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, oh what the fuck, or like people aren't even gonna know that exactly how deeply I thought about every last thing.
God damn, who inspires you? Who's your inspiration? Like, who are some of your inspirations?
Honestly, like I said, like TV shows like Stranger Things, Gravity Falls, or shit that just makes you think so much. Because I love the whole concept of conspiracy theories. So I want to bring that into my dance. But if we're talking about like inspirations from dance as well, I think Ian Eastwood and Sean Liu are probably my biggest ones. Ian Eastwood in a sense of like, not that he started, like he didn't invent concept videos, but the thing is,
yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, but the thing is when, like, if you go back to like 2014 through 2016, there's this whole playlist of like such iconic Ian Eastwood concept videos to like from like this Lil Wayne one where they're in the studio with fucking Cub Scouts or whatever, and to the one where it's to this Chicago artist and they're outside by, I think it's like around Ian's neighborhood, and they like do Chicago forward at the end. Like all his concept videos are just so
I know that one. Yeah,
they're just all so fun and entertaining. And when I was in like the 8th grade and like a freshman in high school, when I went back to all those videos and I watched each of them thoroughly, like over and over and over, to the point where I was like, bro, I love that. I wanna make concept videos. And then Sean Liu, more so as of like, he also just like makes me think, and everything that he does is so insane, and he's such an intellectual dancer, especially and also in a place of emotion, that I'm like, I just want to take from both of them and put it into my own shit. And then also movies. I love movies as a whole. Like I said, movies that make you think.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is not it's not like a crazy movie.
Oh, well.
it's a freaking
like SpongeBob movie, some shit like that.
No, it's called Blood In Blood Out. It's a
Blood
Chicano movie from the 80s, 90s.
Spanish? In Spanish?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, it's in like Spanglish.
So because I can't watch it if it's in Spanish. What's your favorite movie that like makes you think or feel something?
I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that one, to be honest. But it's mainly been in TV shows such as like Gravity Falls and Stranger Things, like I've said, and also just like nerd shit like The Flash, because it's like, oh, there's a new season coming out, like what's gonna happen, or it's like oh, there's a bad guy but we don't know his identity, like who do we figure out who it is?
Storytelling, like
and shit like that, and like plot twists, like that's the shit that I live for. Anytime there's a huge plot twist, like the Stranger Things plot twist in season 4, that shit hit me so hard. I was like, holy fucking shit. I was like, I had a feeling, but to see it come through. Or one of my favorite shows is also You, on Netflix.
The last season was trash.
Nah.
That last season was trash.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I don't even remember what happened, to be honest. I was so bored. Like, I seen every season.
Nah, here's the thing. It came out in 2 parts, and the thing about me is like if I start something, I have to finish it. So by that first episode, I was like, bro, I'm gonna turn this shit off. But I was like, nah, bro, I have to see it through. Like fuck it. So I watched the next 4, 3, or however many it was. And at the end, I was like, bro, I have no idea what the fuck happened. And I was like, bro, I feel like I wasted my time. And then the second part came out, and I was like, I'm gonna do the same shit because I just want to finish it. Like I started it, it got my attention. Now I'm gonna at least see it through to the end. So that second part for me, I like it completely changed the whole, all of that first part of season 4. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Especially like hearing the conspiracy theories, and then like the main conspiracy theory was the one that ended up to be true. And
I
was
forgot what happened, to be honest with you. I literally forgot what happened because I was so bored.
all right, so if anyone watching this hasn't
Yeah.
watched you yet, just click off
Yeah, just
or skip to whatever.
Skip 5 minutes.
So the first 4 episodes were boring as shit, and he's like he's in London, Joe's in London, and then he wakes up and someone's fucking dead in his kitchen table, and he's getting texts from a random phone number talking about, oh, I know who you are, because he changed his name, moved to London, and all this shit. He was like, oh, I know who you are, your name is Joe, you're this and that. And so he was freaking out the whole first 4 episodes of like who the fuck is stalking him, and then and who's killing people for him and trying to put all the blame on him. And by that last episode of the first part, they show us that it's this one guy. He was like running for mayor of London or whatever the fuck, and it turned out to be him. And then it took like a month for them to put out the second part. But the biggest conspiracy theory was like it's not even the guy. The guy was running for mayor. I think his name was like Reese or something. It's not even him. It's Joe himself, and he got DID, did fucking personality disorder. So he's killing, but he's like he'll pass out, and then he'll go and kill, but he doesn't remember. He's struggling switching from one identity to another. Like if you've ever seen Split, it's like that. Like switching from one personality to someone else, and that ended up being like the truth, and ended up being that every scene that this dude Reese, or I don't know if that's his name, every scene that he was in was fake. It was just Joe's imagination creating a different killer, because that's who he actually is himself, but he doesn't want to accept that he's a serial killer, so he created his imagination itself created a whole different fucking person in place of him. And you go back to watch these certain scenes from the first 4 episodes, and it's like there'll be moments where he'll be talking to that dude, and then other people be like what the fuck, like who are you talking to, type shit. Or there was one where he was like responding to him as he was talking over somebody else, and that person was like, don't fucking cut me off, and he was like, but he was talking to like type shit. And like yeah, it just made me think so much.
No, I appreciate the part of it where like if you go back and rewatch, it makes sense.
Yeah, you got to rewatch season 4. It was a lot better than it started.
Maybe, I might not even have finished it then, because I think I might have watched the first chunk of it. I don't think I might have finished it, because I would have noticed something like that. I don't remember that happening, so I definitely didn't finish it. But I mean, I could appreciate that they went there with it. I just was like, damn, how much more could y'all do with this show? Like, just let it.
Yeah, no. They said that season 5 is gonna be the last one. Honestly, I kind of want.
There's another one. Oh my god!
Well, it's because of the way it ends. Yeah, you gotta go back and watch it, because the way it ends, it's such a perfect like opening for a season 5. But honestly, I kind of want it to end too. I'm like, bro, they need to kill this man already. Like they need to kill Joe now.
Yeah, let him die. Don't bring him nowhere else. Fucking the show was good. Like I was really invested, and then it was just like, all right, man, how much more can we do the same story with different people? Like, let's just wrap it up. But
speaking of which, I was actually just on YouTube last night, and I like, for some random reason, I was like, bro, I want to know how many people he's killed in like the whole show. He's killed fucking 18 people in the whole show, and what's so funny is that within the first 3 seasons, his kill count was 10, and that's scattered through all those 3 seasons. It's only 10, and then fucking in just that last season, boom, 8, just like hella fast.
So wait, he killed 8 people within the one season, but within the other 4 or 3 seasons, he's killed 10 people.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, I'm ready to see his ass die now.
Yeah, I'm
Like
ready.
that's my thought. I'm like, bro, end this fucking show and kill this man off now.
What was the one chick? The one where she was like a killer too.
Love.
I was locked in on that season. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is so good.
Bro, yeah, that was season 2 when we first met her, and that was that season's plot twist. And I was like, bro, that one hit me too. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Fuck, dude.
And honestly, I'm kind of mad that that's not how like the show ended, because in like yeah, like in such a weird way, like they were so perfect for each other. I'm like, bro, they both just fucking kill people. Like the fuck.
But
Like
I think
this is some weird like serial killer.
his
like,
problem is like he's got control, and like she's so much like him, he can't control her. Like he can't have.
Yeah, like he sees
control.
himself in her. It's the point where he's like, nah, you're crazy.
And he's like,
like
nah, you're bad. You're just like me. Nah, nigga, you need to learn to love, like, or just get better within yourself. Because I don't think they're not good for each other. Like, they're two toxic people together. That's not good for each other. So he definitely didn't need to be with her. But, like, yeah, she was literally him, but just in a woman's body. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where they lost me at. But I kind of wanted to talk to you about school. Like, not college. But
yeah,
like,
I didn't fucking go to college.
yeah, me either. But like, I kind of want to know what it was like for you going to school, and not just going to school, but like being a creative artist, dancer in school. Because from personal experience, and this was a little bit further back, but I remember when I was like in 7th grade in 2009, art and shit was. Don't laugh. What the fuck was so funny about that? That was like yesterday. Why you sit over there laughing and shit?
2009, I was fucking little as hell. I don't even think I was in. I wasn't even in like 1st grade yet.
I was fucking doing some hard ass homework and shit. But when I was in 7th grade in 2009, like art and stuff was not cool, and so when I would dance or whatever, or like I remember I posted this one video on YouTube of me and my brother dancing, and like people were like making fun of me because of it, and like it wasn't just a cool thing to do at all. Had times changed for you since then, and like it became more like normal?
Yeah, even when I was like a little bit younger, like I don't know, when I was in like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, it's like dance was still at that time looked at like kind of like, oh, if you like dancing is for girls type of shit. I don't really know when it changed, but it's because I never personally like gave a fuck, because I was like, bro, I love dance so much, I really don't care what anyone thinks. Like I'm just gonna keep doing what I love, and I also for most of my life I've also had long hair, so that's also a thing. Like especially especially like being in like 3rd, 4th grade, it's like, oh, if you have long hair, like you're a girl or whatever. Like so it was a bunch of shit that I did where it wasn't looked at as like, oh, it's a certain thing. So yeah, times definitely changed. Like I said, I don't really know when, but I'm really glad that they have. But I want to change them even more now to bring it to the whole fucking world. But going to school was a stressful thing, not because of school itself, because I almost dropped out of school. Cause I hated going to school and the idea of like, I know I'm just wasting my time here. Like there's nothing here. Like I'm not gonna learn anything that me personally I'm going to need, because I know what I want to do in my life. So I feel like I'm just wasting my time being in school for 8 hours a day, to the point where I almost dropped out. And my counselor, she's the one that talked me out of it, because I was ready to just do it, but my counselor talked me out of it, and instead I actually ended up graduating early. So, so that was a good thing. So that way I could be like, oh, I have a high school diploma.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like for me personally, it wouldn't matter if I have that diploma or not, because regardless, I'm still gonna do what I want to do with dance. And I always knew that school, I had bad grades in fucking elementary. Like they used to have to call my parents, and my parents used to have to like come in before the school day would start to like sit down with my teachers and talk about like how I'm doing and shit, and it was always bad. Like I'm I'm not dumb. I just don't like paying attention. That's just not how I am. I don't like school. All I wanted to do was dance. And I remember this one situation in the fucking fifth grade. Fifth grade was my year. I was super into tutting. Like that was what I picked up in the fifth grade was tutting. And apparently, I don't remember this, but apparently we were taking a test at some point, and it was an important test, I guess. And my teacher recorded me. Apparently, I didn't see this fucking video.
She recorded you?
He did record me, and I to this day I haven't seen this fucking video. I've never seen this fucking video, but apparently I'm just tutting at my desk the whole fucking test, and I'm like, why the fuck? First of all, why are you recording me? Second off, I'm like, I kind of like that. Yeah, that makes sense to me that I do that because it's like all I'm doing all the time is think about dance. 2015.
That makes sense. What? How old? Wait, what? How old were you at this point?
I don't fucking remember.
He was like young.
Yeah, I was in the fifth grade. I was in the fifth grade. My year was 2014 to 15. 2014-15 is the year that I was in fifth grade. Well, he was like 18 or something.
Because you said you was in fifth grade and they recorded you. I'm like, what kind of camcorder did they have at the school where they record people? But now they had phones. Well, we didn't have video phones when I was in fifth grade. Yeah, I was like 14, 15. Yeah, I was 18, 19 at that time. So yeah.
I guess that.
Yeah, definitely 18, 19. So, damn, how are you that young? That's when people say like, if people say they born anything after like 2000, I'm like, how did that happen?
No, you know what's so funny? Because now that I'm the one that's quote unquote getting older, when I hear people who are like, oh, I was born in like 2012, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like that to me is weird, but I'm like, I wonder how weird that feels to you, because it's like 2012, I was still a child too, so it's like, how are you fucking...
Bro, when I teach and stuff and I have like the kids and they're like, yeah, I was born in 2013. I'm like, how are you having a conversation with me right now?
Yeah, right.
That,
like,
how are you
seems
able
like...
to understand the words that come out of my mouth? Dude, my cousin, he's like 10 or no, he's 9. And he came up to me. He's like, I was listening to your podcast. And I was like, how old are you? I was like, why were you listening to my podcast? And he was born in like 2014. So I'm like, to me, in my head, he's still like 3 years old. So he's like, yeah, I was listening to your podcast. I'm like, how old are you? Why are you listening? He's like, oh, but yo, these people grow up fast.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I have four nieces. Like, and the oldest is 14. And then, like, when they're like, oh, I was born in whatever the fuck, I'm like, what? Like, it's so confusing. I'm like, what in the hell? And especially, like, my youngest niece, like, I really have to get it through my head. She was born in, like, 2019, 18, I think. And I'm like, what?
It must be nice to be that young, though.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I remember you being born. Like, yeah. I was a freshman in high school, and I remember getting a call being like, oh, your sister's in the hospital. I'm like, yeah. And to think, like, it's just so weird.
And I tell my cousins, because like my cousins, they're in high school right now, and they were born in like 2008. And like when I see them at the gatherings and stuff, we always like making jokes about each other and stuff like that, messing around. And I'm like, dude, I literally remember when you were born. Like I remember holding you as a baby, like and shit like that. So like you can't fuck with me, dude. Like you can't fuck with me, because like yo, I literally remember you being in my arms.
Yeah, like the concept of like.
And now you're in high school on a football team and shit like that. What?
Yeah, the concept of like getting older is so weird. Like like I said, my oldest niece, she's 14. Mm-hmm. She's in 8th grade and she's about to go into high school. And like, damn. I'm like, I look at, there's like pictures on our fridge and I'm like, bro, we're both kids in this. Like, like you were just a child and I was maybe like 8 years old. But like, I still remember that. And it's so weird that you're now like, I'm now an adult and now you're becoming like a young adult. And it's so weird. Like you're about like I said, she's about to go to high school. She's about to like experience shit that I have such clear memories of. And I'm like, this is so weird to me because it's like, to me, you're still like just a child to me.
So are you afraid to get older?
A little bit, yeah. It's just it's a weird concept to really think about. Like if you just leave it as like, oh, I'm growing, I'm aging, then it's whatever. But if you like think about it, I mean, but that's with everything. Like if you just think about it too much, it gets really like deep, kind of, and it just gets weird.
It does get a little
and
weird.
Especially like even now, like I'm only 19, but when I say, oh, when I was in high school, that alone feels so weird to me. Yeah,
that pisses people off.
It throws me so off because I'm like, yo, there was a like I'm out of high school now, and now I can be like when I was in high school, and I remember being in high school, and that was always the thing. I was like, bro, I can't wait to leave and be able to say when I was in high school. But now that I'm here, it's so weird because it's like I almost feel like it was yesterday that I was still getting on a fucking bus, going to goddamn high school. And like I said, I've only been out of high school for like 2 years, and I don't know. I graduated in 2021.
God.
2023. So yeah, it's been 2 years, and it is just so weird to be like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this memory of high school. It's like, bro, I'm not that much older than fucking high school age.
Exactly.
Like, but it's like when I was in high school. It's weird.
I have the same thing because I like to think that like I was just in high school a couple years ago, bro. I'm coming up on my 10-year like reunion next year, like, and I still feel like, yo, I just graduated not that long ago, and that's the craziest thing. It's like a scary but beautiful thing about like growing up and stuff like that. It's like because you leave high school, and as soon as you step out that door, like time just rushes past you.
Yeah.
That shit flies by you. Being 27 now and then graduating high school when I was 17, bro, that's a whole 10 years of like growing up I just did, and I don't even feel like it was that much time. And then when I was calculating in my head, give me another 13 years, I'm going to be 40, which is unimaginable to me. Like, how could I ever be 40? You know what I'm saying? Like that, because I still like I don't feel like super young and shit like that, but I do still feel youthful. Like I feel very youthful. I still like feel like I can hang around younger people and not be lost about what's going on and shit like that. And I can hang around older people, you know, and click with them too, you know. But just like the process of time is like something that we've got to really stay present with, because this shit literally flies by you. And I did the same thing that you did. Like I graduated high school early too, because I hated that shit. Like I hated school so much, and I went to 3 different high schools. So by the time I got to my last high school, I was just like, I can't do this shit no more. I need to get out of here. Yeah. You know. So I graduated, and then from the time I graduated till now, it feels like 2 weeks. Yeah. It's been 10 fucking years, and so much has happened in those 10 years. But it still feels like, damn, I was just there. Yeah, like yesterday.
I get off of work like early as fuck, so I'm home way before the high school bus comes to drop people off. But I always hear it outside whenever it does come to drop off, like the people that are in high school, and I'm like, bro, it's so weird. Like I used to just ride that fucking bus. I used to get dropped off, like from that bus, and it's such a weird thing to think about.
Yeah. So like, where do you see yourself in like 10 years? Like 29.
With the iPhone 25.
iPhone 25. Hopefully they just stop it and start calling them iPhone and stop naming them.
No, but 10 years. Honestly, I see myself as definitely a fully booked and sought after dancer, and like still touring the world, because I want to start touring within at least 5 years. 5 years, but even in 10 years, I see myself as still just like studios or companies or whatever still like trying to contact me like, oh, come and teach, come and do this. Like I still see myself doing that, but at a more like stable pace, because like I said, within 5 years I kind of want it to be just like go, and like my one director, he's danced for Justin Timberlake, Chris Brown, and like whatever, and he's like living out of a suitcase is so like stressful, and it's like he was like, I didn't like the lifestyle, but it's what like I did it, but it's like, to me, I want that.
I want that lifestyle. I want to just be constantly moving. I want to live out of a suitcase doing the main thing that I love. But within those 10 years,
Right.
I see myself as more stable, like living in a
Right.
home, like by myself, or maybe with someone else, and like having a stable home, but still being like a booked dancer.
Because at that point, you've paid your dues when it came to all the other shit.
Yeah, but I'll definitely still be creating crazy shit. And by those 10 years is probably when I'll do my genuine like crazy stuff that I wanna that'll start like super big conversations around the world.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I could see you like touring and stuff now, honestly.
yeah,
And it's honestly, it's just about who you know at this point. It's just about having the right conversation with the right people and being in front of like the right eyes. Because I mean, I try to tell this to young dancers that are passionate all the time because like time is the thing that you have that a lot of us do not have. Like I could look young, but as soon as I tell somebody my age, or like if it comes to like a professional setting, I tell them my age, they hear 27, they hear almost 30, finna get up there in a bit. Like people see 30 as like when people start slowing down and when people have to like start, letting shit go and stuff like that.
nah. Honestly, I want to be, and I told this to. I had a conversation with Elaine once, the same day that I was having this freaking conversation with MJ. He had just left the room by this point though, but I was telling her, and I've told this to many people before. I was like, I want to live and be able to still out, and this might be like an unrealistic goal, but I have these crazy unrealistic goals regardless.
As you should.
Yeah, I want to out still be able to outperform like my grandchildren. I want to live that old to the point where I can experience my grandchildren and see them like grow up and become teenagers up to adults, but still be able to like smoke them.
Yeah.
Be like, let's go battle right now and
It's
still
doable.
smoke them.
It's doable.
Like I don't know. I just love dance so much that I feel like I won't ever be able to just drop it. I feel like I won't ever be able to just not do it, or just be a person behind the scenes, or just be a director, or just be, a person behind a camera. Like, I just love it so much.
Love that shit.
Yeah, and like no matter where I go, I'm dancing. I'm in a car, I'm at a fucking stoplight, the song comes on, I'm like, yeah. Whatever. I'm in the fucking grocery store, my song comes on, I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm just always dancing. And this is like the con of that is like when I'm in like rehearsals, and it's like, all right, everybody gotta like stand up straight, feet together, and like you have to pay attention to this, or they're trying to like block or stage something, and it's like you need to just stand still for a second so that the directors can do their thing. I struggle so much because I'm like I just want to keep dancing, and a lot of times I do, or I'll tap, like I'll just shuffle my fucking foot. And everyone in rehearsal like, Rico, shut the fuck up, stop fucking moving. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand, I can't. Like, not only is it that I just love dance so much that I can't stop moving, I also have ADHD, so I have to keep fucking moving regardless.
Yeah.
So how much I love dance to keep constantly doing it, plus the ADHD, it's just like I just keep moving, and half the times I don't even notice that I'm like moving as like the directors are trying to talk about something that's like serious, and they're like, Rico, like stop, they're talking. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. But I'm like, I just love it so much. I'm just doing it. It's natural now.
It sounds like you were made to be a dancer.
Yeah.
It's like this is meant for you. Now, before we started doing this, we was talking about, you said you rented out the studio for 12 hours one time.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Shout out Johnny and Diversity, man. It's sad that the studio shut down.
Yeah.
I used to rent it out all the time. But yeah, me and my best friend, my brother Maximus, we both the way I'm talking about dance right now, he has the exact same mindset, and that's why I say that we're brothers, because I've never met someone that thinks about it as deeply as I do, and the fact that we both do, and we both always have such long conversations. Like, there will be moments where like we'll get out of rehearsal, it'll be like 9-10 a.m. and he'll be like, yo, can you drop me off at home real quick? And I'm like, yeah. We go grab food, I go drop him off, and then we just sit in my car and we'll have a conversation to like 2 a.m. 3 a.m. and the whole time it'll be just about dance and what we want to do with dance. Like the whole fucking time. Just
all right, now ain't that much you can talk about dance.
I promise you. But yeah, we rented out a studio for 12 hours, and I've been saying this for years now. My love for dance has grown so much that I don't really know. My body doesn't really understand what it means to be tired anymore. Cause it's like,
Interesting.
yeah, it's like, oh, I'm getting tired. It just converts into energy. Like I want to keep dancing. Cause it's like, why? It's like, no, I don't want to stop dancing, but my body's getting tired. But it's like, I love dance so much. I want to keep doing it. I don't care that I'm tired. Let's keep doing it. So being tired, being exhausted, converts into just more energy because of how much I love it that I don't want to stop. I go take a class, I come home and I keep dancing. Like, so yeah, we had this idea. I had the idea actually. I was like, bro, I want to dance for like 12 hours straight, and he was like, let's do it. And I thought we were gonna like prep more for it, but honestly, I was like, you know what? What if we just do it next month, like on this day? And he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm free. And I'm like, all right, let's just do it. And I rented out the studio, and we just went for 12 hours. We showed up. Um, we warmed up with like freestyle exercises that I learned from Beto. So shout out Beto. It's called the Ringers. So just freestyle exercises, and then we both had this song that we were dying to choreograph to. Fucking Diana by Pop Smoke, the King Combs verse. The We Could Take It All the Way, Fast Whips. Yeah, that one. So we both had that song on repeat for months, and we both once had a conversation about like songs we want to choreograph to, and we both said that song, and I was like, all right, fuck it, we're here, let's choreograph to it. And the thing is, when me and him collab and choreograph together, it can take a while because of how much we love and care for dance. That when we're like, we want to create something that's so like that has so much intention that we will take a while. Last thing, well, the second to last thing me and him choreographed was this Usher piece that's on our Instagram. It's the "You Make Me Wanna Leave the One I'm
Yeah, I
With."
seen that one.
It's only 30 seconds, not even. It's like 27 seconds long. That shit took us 4 hours to choreograph, and it sounds like that ratio doesn't match
At all.
but it's like we and even when we were done, I was like, bro, it's been fucking 4 hours. Like we used our whole session time, or this whole studio time, to do the one thing, to do just 30 seconds. But we talked about it. We're like, no, it's just like how much we cared for the piece and how much intention that we wanted to put behind it. That's why. And we had a different session at Puzzle a few weeks ago, and we had like 30 minutes left in our session, and by then everyone who was at the session, they had left, but me and him being who we are, we're like, bro, let's keep going, like fuck it. So we keep going. We just kind of like running certain choreo, and then we have 30 minutes left, and I'm like, bro, what if we just pick a song right now and we just choreograph, and we give ourselves like 10 minutes. And so we did, and it's not clean, but it's also the fact that we gave it the same amount of attention and intention that we did all of our other pieces, but that we did it in such a short time. But that's just like how much we love to dance. It's just like we can just do it too. And we were going back and forth. We're like, what song? What fucking song? I don't know. And then out of nowhere, like I haven't heard an Outkast song in like months, and out of nowhere my head was like, Outkast, and he played Rosa Parks, and I was like, bro, that's what we're doing. Like that's perfect. And
That's perfect.
yeah, and it starts with these guitar strums. It goes da 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 da, and like I said, I was like, bro, we have 10-15 minutes. Let's just do it. We're just gonna choreograph, and whatever happens is what we do. So we just have to like, if someone does a move, we're just gonna stick with that. And so it goes da 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 da, and he goes 1 and 2 and then like spin, and that was just his first thing. And then I was like, slide on the ground, no hands. So he goes ba da da da, and I go ha, slide, tap, and we just came up with this whole piece from just exchanging movement back and forth in 15 minutes. I timed it. That's what we did it in 15 minutes, and created this whole piece. Not this whole piece. It was just to that the first chorus, but or I guess the bridge, but we did it, and it was so crazy. And like I said, it's not clean, but we still gave it that same intention that we did all of our other pieces. So, like, me and him, we're very just intellectual dancers.
Yeah. I gotta meet this guy too, cause like, if it's another one of you out there that's fucking with dance this heavy,
No, but the way he's kind of weird. But I love him. And this is what I love about him. But he's very weird. If you were to have him on here, he's gonna say some shit. It's gonna feel like bro. I don't know, the way he talks and the way he says certain words. Sometimes it just makes me feel, and I've never done shrooms, but it makes me feel like I'm tripping off shrooms. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is you saying? Because half the time he kind of gets lost in his own, like what he's trying to say, but it'll still make sense in the end. But sometimes it's just like, yo, what is you going for?
I'm intrigued. Honestly, I'll be real.
Yeah, I mean, shit, get him on here. He has a really huge gig coming up in December, and he's gonna be gone for a while. So if you want him on here, get him in before that. But it's gonna, like, talking to him sometimes is genuinely like a trip.
That's fun. That sounds like fun to me.
And it's funny because he is the most innocent like he won't even cuss. He's the most innocent person I know, and the fact that him as a person makes me feel like I'm fucking high as shit. I'm like, bro, it's so funny.
When I get my phone back over, I'm gonna go follow him and shit like that. Cause like that's I gotta meet this guy. I gotta fucking meet this guy.
Yeah.
He dance. He's high off shrooms, or I've been on shrooms. And he loves dancers as much as you. Yeah. That's cool because like y'all can work together so much. I hate working with other dancers because I feel like
I can't work with other people that aren't in it.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, bro, I can't.
Yeah, because when it comes to like let's collab, it's like I don't like to because the way that my brain works and the way that your brain works. It just doesn't go together. I'd rather just, hey, or if it's like, okay, you make the first half, I'll make the second half. But I hate like the back and forth. You make the next move, then I'll make the next. I hate that so much. It's just like, not feeling it.
Yeah, well, like I said, me and him, we grew up dancing together, so it's like we just get each other's vibe, and we have such similar dance styles as well that it's like we can, like, when we choreograph together, it's just like. We understand like how we want to attack choreo, so it's a very beautiful thing.
You taught a class recently, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't like what month are we in? I think it was early this month. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I wanted to go, but I think I had something to do that day, so I was like,
Dom went.
Yeah, Dom been popping out lately.
Yeah.
And I like that. I really like the Dom
he
pops
was,
out.
Bro, oh my God, speaking of which, I want to talk about that actually because, so like I said, I'm a very intellectual dancer, and the way, after this whole podcast, like you can tell, like the way I think about dance is so different from everybody else. But in that class, we were like, okay, everybody, do it. Like, just go full out, crash and burn. Like, it was hard choreo, so we're like, crash and burn. And, but we were recording by this point. And, this one girl, she didn't want to go. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to force anybody to do something.
Get the fuck up right now.
I was like, I'm not going to force anybody to do something they don't want to do. Yeah. Max was like, oh, come on, like, do it. And she was like, no. Like I could tell she just wasn't really like confident, not only in the dance but just like to do it. So I was like, okay, like it's perfectly fine. Like you don't have to do it. Like I'm not judging you. Like I understand it's hard choreo. It was hard to pick up. Like it's completely understandable. But before I pressed play on the music, I said something I didn't say it to get to like with my goal being for her to get up and dance. I was just saying it because I feel like this is something that all dancers should keep in the back of their head as a reminder, but not everybody thinks about it the way I do. So a lot of people they're not going to think this way. But I said something to the whole class, and she got up right away and did the choreo, and she killed it. But she was just feeling very shy, and she didn't want to get up and do it. And like I said, perfectly fine. I'm not going to force anyone to do something they don't want to do, that they're not comfortable with, that they don't feel confident in. And so I told everyone, I was like, okay, before I press play, I completely understand. This choreo is hard. Like, it was hard for us to choreograph it,
And then even for us to do it after, it was hard. Like what we have posted on our Instagrams right now is from that day we choreographed it, and that's not even like the 100% choreo. Like we were fucking it up in that video. So I was like, it's completely understandable. And then I was also like, I told him, I was like, one thing I love about being in a class that's hard, is that like you get humbled in such a way, and you look at yourself kind of as like, oh, I suck, like I'm doing terrible. But that's where you have to kind of switch your mindset to be able to see whether like the glass is half full or half empty. Because I took what really like humbled me, I guess, and Max too, and our one friend Ian. Like we're three dudes that pick up fast, pick up a lot of shit in such little time, and we were so horrible in that class. Like Tibius Elhammer, he has such a fast and light style, and it's all footwork, and it's all pictures, lines, and like polyrhythms, and we were just struggling so fucking hard, and so was everyone in that class. And not to put anyone on blast, but like a lot of people went home and cried. And I was like holy fucking shit. But yeah, and I told my class, I was like I personally like when I'm in a class and I'm doing terrible. And I was like, and you might think that's weird, but ask yourself why. Why do I like the fact that I'm not doing good? Because it lets me know that I'm getting better. It lets me know that, you know, and I told
That's some shit that a person that's really good says. That's some shit that a motherfucker that's really good says.
And I told them, I was like, there was probably a point in time where none of y'all could dance. Y'all sucked. And then you had to take a class and you weren't good at it. But you had to take something you weren't good at to then get good. And now y'all are good. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, you're good. How can you be better? And I was like, the only way you can get better is if you then suck again. If you're bad at something again. It's all levels. So you will never get better if you don't put yourself in these classes where like you might not be able to get it. And that's just what I was telling the class. I was just like, y'all came here knowing that it was gonna be hard. So that's already step one. Mm-hmm. So now y'all are gonna grow from this class. And I was like, don't ever have the mindset of, oh, I did bad in this class, so I'm never gonna try and go to a harder class ever again. I'm gonna stick to what I know. Because if you stay here, it's just gonna keep being this. You have to step at some point up here and be bad up here in order to one day be here with everybody else. And when I said that girl got up right away and she went in and did it. And I like I said, I didn't say it hoping that she would get up, but it's just the fact that I said it and she got up right away. Like, and me and Max, we looked at each other. We started cheering. We're like, yeah. Like, I was like, I didn't think my words would have had that much of an impact that night. And we were really happy, and we played the music, and we were like, yeah, and we were like doing it with them. And she,
of course, your words are gonna matter.
Yeah, she texted me after the class, but I saw it on my notifications, but then I had to drive Max home, and that shit was over an hour, and then I had to drive 30 minutes home from his house. So I just didn't get to open it that night. And I think she unsent the text because
damn.
Because it's not in my Instagram anymore. So if you're watching this, you can totally text me. Like I didn't answer because I didn't want to. Like, I'm not a bitch. I just had so much shit going on and I didn't get to it.
You're fake as fuck.
I swear I tried looking for it the next day and I was like, bro, it's just not there. Or something happened, just resend it. Like, and I read half of it.
She's not gonna resend it.
I read like a little bit that was in my notification. She was just like thanking me hella for like the push, and I was like, yeah, that's just what it's all about. Is like you have to be bad again to get better. Just as you're good, how do you become great? When you're great, how do you become greater? Like that's just how it is. And so,
bro, that's
like,
so relatable. So fucking like, dude, I like the growing pains fucking suck. But you gotta fucking push through that. You gotta go through that shit. Like when I broke my knee and I felt like I was at a really high level in my career as far as like my abilities and stuff like that. And then having to fucking train, bro, I was pissed, bro. Yeah. Like, you know how it feels to be like at a level where you're comfortable with and then something happens and you have to get to where you were before or try to at least like try to figure shit out. Like, there were so many classes that I went to where like, although I didn't get down on myself because I understood my situation,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of frustration where it's like,
Yeah.
why,
Understand
why
that.
the fuck do I gotta sit there and relearn how to do the shit that I already knew how to do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't deserve that. And it was kind of like that feeling. But at the same time, like, I knew that, like, oh, it's going to be okay. I'll get there, take time and all this shit like that. But, like, there were days where I was just like, man, I'm pissed off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
I don't have to do that shit.
Yeah, during this like small time that I like took a break from dance, just because I was like, I was 16, and I had so much stuff going on in my life, and I just like, I'm 16, I'm dumb, so like I got rejected from like a job, and I took that shit so much to heart, and out of stupidity, I like kind of stopped dancing because I looked at it as like, oh,
A dance job or a job?
a dance job. So, and I looked at it as like, oh, dance turning its back on me. I didn't understand at the time that that's not what it was. It was just like, it was just a door closing because like my life wasn't meant to go down that path. It was meant to go somewhere else. I didn't understand it at that time. So I like stopped dancing. And when I got back into dancing, and it was Max that brought me back because he was like, bro, come audition for Extreme. And at first I was like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna do that. Like, nah, that
Got
like I
audition
was,
to be on a part of that company?
huh?
You gotta audition to be a part of that studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I don't know, I was kind of asshole about it. Not to him, but just in my head, I was like, that seems whack to me. I don't want to audition. I don't want to be a part of a company again. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Then like, as the day kept getting closer, like the thought just kept creeping up in my head of like, oh shit, like there's an audition thing happening soon. Like, I could possibly just dance again. So like the day before, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go tomorrow. And I went, and then getting back into dance was so like, it was so weird to me, and I look back and I'm like, bro, like I it's almost like as if I wasn't dancing, and it's like I was just relearning how to do everything. And for that first year that I was on Extreme, my like biggest like thing that I struggled with was retention. And before I stopped dancing, I actually, yeah, I struggled with retention, but I kind of got past that point and I was able to pick up choreo fast. But when I went to Extreme, I was like, holy shit, I'm like struggling at picking up choreo, and like I need more than just that hour and a half to get it. I need the second day, and sometimes not even the second day. Sometimes I need even more days. And I was like, holy shit. So yeah, relearning that was super like frustrating. I was like, oh, what the fuck.
Yeah. But,
But now, like, I pick up quick. Like, I went to Reveal.
can't relate.
Nah, I mean, it's just because I constantly try and keep my brain, like, working and moving. And so I'm constantly trying to put myself in situations where I'm like, I can just keep the intellect that my brain has because, like, I went to Reveal. I took Dario Boner's class. I was struggling so much, like, financially at that time. So I was like, everything, I had so much going on, even specifically that day, that I ended up fucking showing up to that class like 45 minutes late. And by then, Dario was halfway through the fucking choreo. And I just like stood for a minute and I watched them do it over and over. And I slowly picked it up. And then I went up to Sylvia. Shout out Sylvia. I went to Sylvia. And I just told her, I was just like, what are just that first 2, 3, however many 8 counts? And she showed it to me. And just off of her showing it to me once, I was like, all right, I got it. And then I just picked up that second half. And I mean, to me, I felt like I was killing it in that class. And I was like, but it was also a challenge to me. I was like, I kind of like that I showed up late and I was still able to do it. And now when I have like complications, like say something happened with my car, I got to go deal with some family thing before I go to class. It's like, I'll show up late, but it's like, I'll still get it. And I like that. I like that challenge. But yeah, no, that day of Reveal, it's like, at first I had to come up with the money to even pay for the class. And then I had to eat because I had to eat in that whole day. So I was like, I need money to fucking eat. I got to grab food. And then I was like, now I got to drive all the way down to Chicago. And, bro, my dumbass, I was like, fuck yeah, I got the fucking money for the ticket, for the day pass. I got the money for me to fucking eat. I got gas money. I'm set. I'm good to go. And I go down to Chicago and I'm getting closer to the college where it was.
And I'm driving, and I get off at the exit, and I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna park? I was like, bro, I was like, to find free parking in Chicago, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm about to do. And I called my friend and I was like, bro, can you please just send me like $15? But then I had like find parking.
Yeah.
But so shout out to her because she sent me $15 to be able to pay for the parking. But yeah, I had to like find parking. So that was everything. It's like I had to go get gas, I had to go get food, I had to find money for the day pass. So I didn't leave like the suburbs until late. So I didn't get to the city till late. And then when I was in the city, like, where the fuck do I park?
Dude,
So it's a whole
that
thing.
fucking problem solving is like.
Yeah, and I love skating. I'm a skater too. So when I found the cheapest place I found to park, it was like 15 minutes away from where it was. So I was like, I'm gonna just park there. I'm gonna grab my board because my board goes with me everywhere I fucking go. My fucking setup. It's a Death Wish board. I love it. So I was like, I have my fucking skateboard in the back. I'm just gonna skate all the way to fucking to where it was. So I skate all the way there, and luckily Caleb was working in like this little workshop area that they had. So I was like, bro, can you just watch over my board? And he was like, yeah. And then we went to the after party and shit, and I skated back to my car.
To be that young and to have that much kind of energy.
Yeah, bro, it's
How
just
you
like
skate to the class and then take the class.
Yeah, just for me, it's like if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Like I will always figure shit out. Like we were just talking about Max. Max actually at the same time that I was at Reveal, he was in L.A. He had enough money to pay for his stay and his food and the classes, but he did not have anything for fucking transportation. Let alone it's L.A. Like my one friend who lives in L.A. She told me that like from her college campus to get to Millennium is like a $20 to $30 Uber, and it's only like 15 minutes away. And I'm like,
It must have went up because when I was going to LA, it was like $15 to take a 15-minute ride.
nah, but yeah. And so what's funny is that the week before, no, not even the week before, 3 days before he had to fucking leave for LA, he's like, bro, I need you to teach me how to skateboard. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. And so I have hella extra boards. So I bring him a board. And funny enough, for like a dancer, he could not balance on that fucking board at all. He stepped on, he buzzed his ass.
Did this man take a skateboard to LA?
Yeah.
He skated
Yeah.
to classes.
Yeah. There and back from the studio to the hotel. And like I said, that he stepped on the board, boom, like a
Really?
fucking like a cartoon. He just busted his shit, and I was dying laughing. But by the end of the day, he got it, and he was like, "Bro, these next 3 days, I'm just gonna keep skating, so I could just like get my balance better." And I was like, "Yeah, you just keep the board. Like I don't care. Like I have hella boards. Just, keep the board." And then yeah, he went to LA and he was just skating the whole time.
That's drive. Like
Yeah, I'm saying if there's a will, there's a way. Like there's nothing that, for me and him, like there's just nothing that is gonna stop us from wanting to do what we love.
From dancing. Damn.
Yeah, there's not a single complication. Like, and we're gonna make it work. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a loophole.
Please keep that though. Like, please, like, don't let that shit die. Do not let that shit die. Cause like, it's hard as you get older to like, cause you know then you start to get into bills and shit like that, and then you start getting the responsibilities and shit like that, and you get these little tiny things that start to step in front of you and make you have to question whether you want to continue to focus the way you focus on it now. And if you want it, you'll make it work. But don't let any little like tiny thing or roadblock or like just factor take that like drive you have away from you.
Like
that shit,
I don't think anything could really, and especially after already like going through that moment of I wasn't dancing. Like I regret that moment so bad, and I don't blame myself for it though because I was just young and I was immature and I didn't know any better. But it's like now that I do, it's like to know that I went through that. It's like, bro, I will never turn my back on dance ever again, and I will do whatever it takes to see this through, and I won't ever let any complication get in my way. I'm like, bro, I'd like if I have to be in LA for a certain job and I don't have money to fucking like get a hotel, I'll drive all the way down there in my car and I'll sleep in my car in fucking parking lots. Like I don't care. Like I know that my homie Sonny, He's a freestyle dancer. I know that when I know I know he was living in LA at some point, but he was doing that. He was like sleeping on like beaches and shit, and like in parking lots, like in his car, and yeah, like I'll always find a way. Like I don't care. Like if I have to sleep in a car, whatever. Like, cause it's like I'm just gonna. My only focus is what it is, what I love. Whatever's before that, I don't care. As long as this is being fulfilled, it doesn't matter what I do before that.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm over here like, damn, fuck, how do I get my shit? Like, how do I make this shit work for me,
Yeah.
But that's what it is. Like, I do find inspiration in hearing other people's stories about how they make this shit work. And I don't know if you saw the episode with Jules, but, like, she moved out there recently, too, and, like, she's finding her way with it and shit like that. And my relationship with dance is not going to look the same as everybody else's, but I have to remind myself that that's the situation. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I might not end up going to LA, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a different space with it right now with myself. So it's like, I just gotta like remember how to nourish dance as it pertains to my life right now, to keep it healthy and stuff like that, and keep myself wanting to do it and happy with it, and just like still going on with it. And it's just we all love it, obviously, so we gotta make sure we're doing what it takes to keep ourselves happy with it, and I think you're doing that, and so you're on the right path. But we've been going for a minute. But before we go, we always gotta do my little quick rapid fire question game.
No, wait, before we even do that,
yeah, go ahead,
bro. Since we started, it's been on the back of my mind. I never fucking finished telling you how I started dancing. So
how did you start? How did you start dancing? No.
Like we cut that shit off and we went into this whole deep conversation.
Bro, I was like, that was the thing. I was like, how do we get? No, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So like I said, my dad he showed me Michael Jackson and he was like,
that was the first question. He showed you Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and I like. My issues, I have ADHD. I go from here to here to here.
Yo, you didn't fit it. That's the crazy part, because you didn't fit
and it's the fact that it's been in the back of my mind every conversation we've had since then. All right. I was like, we need to go back there.
Michael Jackson, then what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, no, because you know what happened? You talked about your mom and how she was or she was a dancer too or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
she wanted to. Yeah, but so he showed me Michael Jackson, and I remember he showed me Smooth Criminal. And bro, that like changed my whole fucking. And then I was even able to like pay tribute to that moment of me and my dad, him showing me Michael Jackson, and then like I remember if it was in that same year, but around that same time frame, he then showed me the Jabberwockies on ABDC, and then at some point I don't know if I went out and bought it or if my sisters did. But I just know that I had a DVD copy of the first Step Up with Channing Tatum, and I used to watch that shit every single fucking day. On top of like I would go to freaking first grade, second grade, like just waiting to get home so I could watch the movie. So I could take my dad's iPad and watch Jabberwockies, watch Michael Jackson,
and then watch the first Step Up.
Yeah. And like growing up watching all these stuff, I had like all of them on DVD. I have no idea where they are now, but I had them on DVD, and I'd always play them, and I would like dance at the scenes that they were dancing. And my dad used to get mad because he'd be like, "Are you watching? Or are you dancing?" And my mom was always the one that backed me up. She was like, "Let him do both," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let me be great." Damn.
Yeah.
And then, but not only that, is watching the Jabberwockies. That then got me super into ABDC as a whole, and I watched every single season, all the people that won, and then Super Crew. After watching Super Crew, that's what got me into b-boying. So that's how I started.
B-boy?
Yeah, I'm originally like a whole b-boy, like flares and all that shit. Yeah, I don't really do that now. I've become more of a well-rounded dancer. I like to do all shit. Like I've been doing tap for the last like year.
Tap?
Yeah.
Since when you started doing tap?
December.
You got tap shoes?
Nah.
You do it. You ain't got no tap shoes.
Well, if you can learn how to just like shuffle and do the time step, and the sound still comes out, but like the shoes is just what makes it more prominent. But yeah. So like Super Crew got me super into they got me into breaking. Quest Crew got me into like animation styles, and a core memory for me too is watching Jabberwockies, and this was like when iPads first came out.
How old were you? like one?
I don't even know, but this was when iPads first came out, and so there wasn't a screen recording feature, let alone a mirroring feature in the editing. So I would just watch the Jabberwockies videos, all their ABDC sets, and I would learn them and I'd mirror them. My like all-time favorite one, I even performed it at my fucking elementary school talent show, and I remember it was like everyone's favorite of that night. I did fucking Robot Remains. That was my. They were in like blue. They came. There was a huge like Jabberwockies mask that they all came down from, and then it's just like super like robotic dance. And this one move that I always remember is fucking do 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 do. It was that. And then I remember I learned to this day, I still know a little bit of their like original audition fucking routine where it's like ka drag and a step tap. Like I don't know, that's just such a core memory. It was just like learning those dances, watching Step Up all the damn time, studying all of these crews that won every single season of ABDC.
Were you voting?
Huh?
Were you like calling in to vote and shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. I Am Me was like my favorite of all time. Like I loved I Am Me, and yeah, I was fucking so ecstatic when they won. I was like, holy fucking shit, and Emilio on there, he was a b-boy, so I was like, that's my fucking favorite, because like I said, I was a b-boy, so I was like, yeah, he's fucking raw as shit. And yeah, like I Am Me crew has such like a special place in my heart, and the Jabberwockies, for like so many reasons, and that's all just such a core memory to me. And then I was dancing so much in my room, in my basement, and watching all these movies and just revolving my whole entire life around dance, that my mom, she saw some like ad for this company that was just down the road, which I don't want to say, but it's the company we were just talking about.
Oh yeah.
It was that. So yeah, I don't like to give. I don't like to give a lot back to that studio, just because we ended on such bad terms, and it was so much like abuse that they put me through, and like use of my body that it's like, ugh. But it is like a whole part of like my dance career. But I don't like giving them too much light. But yeah, so she saw an ad for that studio, and she signed me up. And what's so funny is that I actually didn't want to do it. I was like, bro, I just want to be a street dancer. I just want to freestyle. I don't want to do this fucking, like, I was young. I was like, I don't want to do this company shit. That seems corny as fuck. Even though what got me dancing was these, like, crews.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they were, like, they came from, like, street crews, not from, like, a company. Mm-hmm. I was like, I want to have my own crew. I want to get people together and shit. So I was like, no, I don't want to fucking do it. And she, like, dragged my ass to that studio. And I was like, fine, just this one time I'll do it. And she was like, okay, fine. If you don't like it, you don't got to come back. I was like, all right, bet. Like, that's fair. So she dragged my ass out to that studio, and I took that first class, and I went to my mom after the class. She was like, how was it? And I was like, I want to come back next week. And
every week it so much.
Yeah, and then I fucking ended up being on that company for, I think, 7 years, 6.5 years. Because I also left also when it was COVID and when it shut down.
Oh, that's when you left.
Yeah. It
was COVID.
Which is funny because it's also the same time that I like joined Peacemakers. So I was on like 2 companies without one of them, because I was already planning to leave. Because I was like, bro, I'm so over y'all. So I joined Peacemakers like while still being on them, because I was like, I'm so over this shit. But the thing is, like, they had me on like contract. It's just so.
At the studio?
Yeah, it's just weird. And like you had to like finish out the season.
And if you didn't?
I don't even know, because there were people that like, yeah, they left halfway through, but it was like a whole like financial thing that like that went down with them that I didn't want to have that I don't want my family to have to go through. So I was like, I'm gonna just fucking stick it out, fuck whatever. But I still joined that company like halfway through. I mean, Peacemakers halfway through. So yeah, I was already planning to leave. I already had my way out, and luckily COVID just shut it down right there, and I was like, all right, cool. All ties cut off from this moment on.
Yeah, that's crazy. I really had no idea that you were a company kid, like a company kid. Yeah. Especially when I ran into you that for the first time. So like, because then your skill also was just like not that of a company kid dancer at all. Like I was very like kind of taken back when I saw you dancing and shit like that. And
I feel like a lot of people too still don't really know, because on my Instagram mainly, I very much showcase like my freestyling abilities. I feel like there might be people who don't even know that I can even like do choreo.
Yeah, but like when I met you, you did choreo. But then
Yeah.
I think I more so ended up seeing you on Instagram doing the freestyling shit. It was just like, damn, this motherfucker can do everything.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm gonna definitely start making like the fact that I do choreo more profound in my Instagram too,
do you
so
feel
that
like
people
don't
know.
know you of that?
Huh?
You think people don't know you of
Not as much as they know and understand like the freestyle. But yeah, I want people to know like I do both just as well.
I'm telling everybody right now,
equally.
he does it. He doing both. Definitely does them both.
Yeah, but that's another thing too, is like the way I'm into freestyle, because you can be a company dancer, you just freestyle, but the way I freestyle, it's like I take that shit serious too, and I'm very much in both realms of like the freestyle battle world to the company world. So I'm like I'm really cool with all the like company shit and all the history, it goes into that, such as Ian Eastwood, such as like I said, Sean Liu, Melvin Tim, fucking Paris, like all these people. But then I'm also in this like freestyle battle realm where I'm like the greatest to me are Lay Twins, Kid Nimbus, David, fucking Beto, like all these people, and it's the way the freestyle world is, like choreo company kids, they can't do that, which is what I love about being so tied to both. Is when I free, like say I'm in a class, say I'm in a company class, you have to freestyle before the choreo starts and after it's over. But the way I do it, it's so serious to me, and people are just like, oh, like whatever, 1 2 step, like whatever. But I'm like, I'm listening to the song and I'm interpreting the song, and I do the choreo and I kill the fucking freestyle after too. And a lot of times there's such a disconnect from the freestyle world to the choreo world.
I know.
And that's what I don't like. That's another thing. That's another like goal that I have, is to bring them together, because it's like sometimes when I freestyle in front of the, like in a company setting, I don't get cheered on. Like they'll be silent, or they'll be like, what the fuck is he doing? Because they don't understand what I'm doing. Like, like honestly, company dancers, I don't think I've ever heard a single company dancer talk about fixed points. I don't think any choreo dancer knows what a fixed point is, and that might be mainly a freestyle thing. So it's like they don't understand that I'm doing fixed points. They don't understand that my freestyle, I'm telling a story. They don't understand that I'm interpreting the lyrics in my movement on the spot.
Yeah.
They just see, and they might be like, what the fuck are you doing? And especially when it's like experimental freestyle, like they're not gonna get what the fuck I'm doing. Like when I'm doing floor work, and I'm like trying to make lines and pictures, they don't understand that shit. And so a lot of times they're quiet. They're just like, and I might do one cool shit, like say I fucking thread the needle. They might be like, oh great, but they don't get what I'm doing. But I want to bring these two different realms together and have them both understand each other, because it's also like freestyle dancers. I've seen freestyle dancers try and take choreo classes and they don't get it, but they're insane freestylers though. They're crazy. Like they have fucking Red Bull championships. They have Red Bull belts. Like whatever the fuck, but they can't pick up choreo. But it's like, but I think freestylers have more of an open mind. I feel like the company kids are more of like, oh, we're like this, we do that. So it's like, what are you doing? And they don't understand. But I'm trying to bring it closer. And like recently, like at my company, even the directors have been saying that like they think that that we need to start freestyling more, and like I know a lot of company kids who like can't freestyle for shit, like to save their lives, and whenever it's like a freestyle moment, they don't do nothing, and they're like, oh, I don't like freestyle, the freestyle like whatever, and I'm like, so you're not even trying to understand then like freestyle as itself, let alone there's this whole other realm that is freestyle that you will never be able to understand. So it's like that's what I'm saying. Like I just feel like freestylers are more open minded. And I was just in a carnival set with MJ and Elaine, and we had some Shy Buck dancers in there. So shout out to them. It was Dion, it was Crisis, Kirby, and Killerina. But they're like freestyle people. They're in that realm of freestyle. Like that's what you see them do. They go to all the battles and this and that. But there was just at the end, MJ was like, I do kind of want you guys to join us in just this like ending choreo. It was super easy, just like a 2-step down, kind of whatever, and they did it. And I'm not gonna lie, like no shade, but like they were struggling with it, and I'm sure they would admit too that they were kind of struggling with it, but they got it.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. I just feel like freestylers are so much more open minded, and especially because freestyle, like the world that is freestyle, is so like unique. That's like you can't be a part of that world if you don't have an open mind.
Right. And I've spent a lot of time around like both communities. I definitely spent my time around the freestyle community because I knew that as a dancer, like that's an asset that you need to, like you need to understand freestyle and shit like that. And I'm not the person that you gonna call on like I need a freestyler, Ron, come out here. Definitely not that guy. But like if I'm on a job or something and the requirement is freestyle for this part, I'm not gonna be like, can someone else do it? No, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. Like I've seen company dancers like that are like, oh, I can't freestyle. I don't know how to freestyle. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, bro? Like,
and the reason why they're like that is because you have to spend time in that world to understand how to freestyle confidently, because freestyling in a choreo like sense is gonna feel very like clunky, commercial, like you're just doing choreo moves that you know and shit like that. To be a freestyler, you have to have a creative mind and be creative with your body and allow yourself to look weird sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's different.
Yeah,
it's
no, I have
not
such a fucking.
It's not the same thing.
I have such a funny ass story. Fucking. So just this last season, we had a nationals in Florida, and it was like a 3-4 day thing, and on one of the days, they were having what they called a improv showdown.
Improv showdown.
And what they were trying to say is that it was a freestyle battle. Improv show, and that alone pissed me off. But I was like, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it just for fucking fun. I'm just gonna see, just to like as like a troll thing. Like I was like, bro, and I'm like, it's gonna be a bunch of just company dancers just improving. But I'm gonna do my shit and do what I do, like, and give a fuck about what freestyle is. And that whole experience, it was so cringy because it's not even like, even like the company that ran the competition, they don't understand the fucking freestyle world either. They called it a fucking improv showdown, so they don't even know how to format it correctly. So what they did is there was over like 100 people that signed up. They had us go in like 5 groups. So we all just shared this fucking small ass stage.
Oh, I know.
And we all just had to fucking do it. And they would just mark us down one by one. They would like line up the group at the end and be like, they gave us numbers. They'd be like, 32, you made it through, go to that line. 17, you didn't make it. Or no, they didn't say you didn't make it through, but they would call up the numbers that made it through and be like, you guys can all go to that side. You went through to the next round. Everybody else, like, it was a pleasure having you, whatever the fuck. And it was just so funny. And I don't want to say that, like, going into it, that I was like, oh, I'm going to win this shit. But I was like, no, I'm definitely going to make it through to, like, the fucking end. Because even though it's in a company setting, like, the judges are going to have some sort of understanding that, like, I'm freestyling at a different way, in a different way than these company dancers are. And so I don't know. I took that shit so like not that serious, and I didn't end up winning.
You did?
No, Max won.
Ah, okay.
So it was still a thing, and then yeah, I remember, and they were playing these
Commercial songs.
boof ass songs. I was getting so pissed the fuck off, and they played one good song. They played Humble by Kendrick Lamar. And they realized that no one knew what the fuck they were doing to a real hip hop song, so they stopped after that. They're like, "Nah, we're not playing that shit." It was so funny, is that was a round, that was like the second to last round, and so it was like this group goes and then this group goes, and I was in a group with one of my other friends, and then Max was in the second group. We get off, and for Max's group is when they played Humble. And me and my one friend were looking at each other, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And she looks at me. She's like, "If they switch the vibe and play some stupid ass lyrical shit, I swear to God." And that's exactly what happened for that next round. I was like, "Bro," I was like, "Yeah," I was like, they clearly realized that none of these company dancers could dance to that kind of music, and like, it was just a bunch of shit for
those like convention types.
Yeah, and it was just a bunch of like people doing pirouettes and leaps. And I'm like, bro, you're not
but those are valid too, though.
They are, but it's like there's only so much of that you can do, because like you're just like taking shit out of like a bag of like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, but you're not freestyle. You're not interpreting the music. You're not creating a story. You're not doing that, and that's what the realm of freestyling is. And it's like you're just like spamming fucking shit that you know. You're just spamming certain combos that you know.
Yeah. And are you dancing? Are you battling this weekend?
I want to, but I'm competing with my company too. And when I tried to do it last year, I just spent a lot of time not in the battle room, to the point where I don't know. Like to this day, I don't know if I ever made it past the prelims or not. So luckily, I was in the room when they called my name for the prelims, but I was about to leave because we had to go meet up. But luckily, they called my name right then and there, so I was like, I'm gonna go do it real quick, and then the second I'm done, I gotta go. And I knew that they were still gonna be doing prelims, but by the time I was able to go back to the battle room, it was like they were on like top 16 already. Damn. And I was like, so I don't think so, because I can't be in two places at once.
I'm definitely battling though. I'm gonna do my first battle this year. I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
This has been a goal of mine for like ever, and I've never had the courage to do it. But I'm like, man, I got a second chance at life. Like, let's get in the battle.
I've been trying to get a lot of my company friends into battling just for fun. Be like, bro, just do it. Like who gives a fuck?
Not? And the last time I wanted to, like 2021, I wanted to battle at WAD, but I was nervous, so I went home really fast, and I came back. When I got back into the place, they had closed the sign-ups and shit, and I was like, fuck. Yeah. But I really wanted to do it that year, because a lot of my friends were doing it too for fun or whatever. And yeah, I was trying to jump in there. But this year I'm definitely going to do that shit. I'm not performing either, so it's like, all right, you're not performing, at least dance to some extent, you know? So it's going to be exciting. I just want to show my shit, you know? And I don't have that, like, I'm not a fantastic freestyler or no shit like that at all, but like, I know I've done it to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, like Malcolm has been really like talking hella about battling recently, and it's funny because we both wanted to do the I think it was the Rhythm Hood battle that just passed, and neither of us made it through prelims, but we were like talking shit to each other for like a while. We're like, yo, I'm gonna smoke you, and I was like, bro, you don't know who I be training with, and we were just like going back and forth, but it was because he's like he's a company dancer, I guess. He's a choreo dancer, and this is funny. I was like, yeah, he's gonna battle, and it just made me really happy.
Yeah,
I was like,
I love seeing people step out of that comfort zone.
Yeah,
him and Jules were both like battling like for a little while. And then Brian switched over to that kind of world too, so that was really cool to see people like step over, and that's something that I've always wanted to fully do, but I haven't.
Marley Hightower. She's been battling, and she's been like winning.
Yeah,
and it's
she's
like,
been fucking
and it's like no, but that's a company dancer. Let alone a company dancer. She's a director for a whole company that she owns. Like she's a full on choreo company dancer. But now she's stepped over into the battle world, and she's killing shit. Same with Sean Lou. Sean Lou fucking won the fucking Red Bull Chicago. I'm like, when the fuck did Sean Louis even start doing shit like that? Like he's always been that company, like conventional dancer. I'm like, when the fuck he can freestyle and it's crazy, but I'm like, when he start battling, like when he get into that mentality,
Dude, it's a good thing to see.
Yeah, and it's like I love that gap is trying to get closer, but I really want to solidify this gap and really close it. And
so many people have tried, and it's so hard to get both sides to care about the other because people look at dance in two ways. They look at like, oh, I want to dance, I want to be my own person, and I want to be free and be a freestyler, or I want to be like, I want to do choreo and I want to be on a structure, you know. And they struggle to see like the other sides of like dance is the same thing for both of you. You just utilize it in a different way. So if you cross over into it's literally just people being stubborn, to be honest with you. Like either you don't want to learn choreo, you don't want to learn how to learn structure, or you don't want to learn how to be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And once you get them to understand that it's okay to do both, you might start to see some more.
That's why I love doing both. It's like I get the best of both worlds. I like they're both such amazing freaking like they're such amazing realms to me, and that I'm like I love that I can do both, and like even though they are completely different cultures, it's like I love that I can be a part of both and understand both separately. But it's like I don't like this disconnect, and so I'm just gonna have to come with time and trying to make people also like less selfish. And you know, maybe I won't be able to want to close that gap, but I'll definitely be one to bring that gap closer together and shorten it just a little less.
You got you.
Yeah.
Why not? If it's something you care about, you should. You definitely should.
Yeah, and like I remember for example at WAD, like my whole company's there, and everyone sticks through to the end of the show, which means they watch that final battle, and it's like I know they're watching it, but I know they're not really getting it and understanding. I know they don't get that rope. And what's crazy too is like there's a whole bunch of companies that go, obviously, and I remember I was sitting in the balcony watching who was it? It was Dunn, Jay Dunn, that's my homie. Yeah. It was Dunn battling Murky. That was the fucking final.
Was this last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
For real?
Yeah, that was last year.
I ain't go last year. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I was like, I heard this one dude try and like talk about it, and he was like, oh yeah, this one dude, he did this, but the other guy gave more here, and I was like, yeah, you're trying, but you don't get what he just did, and like, it went for both, like for whatever Jay Dunn did and for whatever Murky did, and they just kept trying to talk about it, and I was like, bro, y'all don't even get it, and let alone it's the fact that like they didn't even know their names. They're just like, oh, that dude, or the guy with the red Converse, the dude in the jacket. Like I was like, bro, y'all don't even know like Murky is such a well-known freestyle dancer, like from Ohio to Chicago to like everywhere, and like, bro, y'all don't even know like. Y'all don't know Dunn? Like, bro,
Jacob is like he's a choreo dancer too.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, and let alone the fact that he also went to Red Bull with Sean Lou. I'm like, bro, y'all don't even like know, because y'all just don't take the time to understand that there's this whole other part of dance. So it's like hearing them talk about it, I was getting kind of like pressed. I was like, y'all just not in the culture, but y'all don't. I feel like y'all probably wouldn't care enough to like y'all just seeing this as entertainment. Yeah. But y'all don't even know who's on stage right now. Y'all don't even know that you're in the presence of fucking DeAndre, fucking Nero the Professor. Y'all don't know that you're in the presence of fucking Kid Nimbus. Y'all don't even know that Kid Nimbus has won so many fucking titles. This man has so many notches under his belt. Like y'all don't even know who that really is. And you're in the presence of greatness, and y'all don't even like know. Y'all don't get it, because y'all just never take the time out. But that's what like I just want the worlds to mix in some way where people like know, and especially like DeAndre came up to me and talked to me, and I was in front of some of my company friends at the time, and everyone was like, who was that? Why was he talking to you? And I was like, bro, that was fucking DeAndre. I'm like, bro, that man was giving me props. Like, y'all don't even understand. That is like such a huge deal. Like y'all looked at it as just some random dude that came up to me to say like, good job. Nah, bro, that was like
like, you don't understand what that meant to me.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. And they're like, who is that? I'm like, bro, that is DeAndre. Y'all don't even understand who that is. And I was just like, bro, yeah, it's just whatever it takes to close that gap.
Yeah, and you're gonna be the one to close it. You
I
should
hope
be.
so. Yeah.
Because the way you just talking, you care about this shit for real.
Yeah.
Like this is
my whole life. I have such a crazy vision. I told this to Elaine too when we was having this conversation. And this is so unrealistic, but it's like I love dance so much that I almost want dance. I want dance to also be the thing that takes me out.
Oh God.
I want, because I don't want to die laying down and just in pain. I'd rather die still doing the thing that I love.
That makes sense.
And a super unrealistic goal that I have is like having one last final performance and inviting people who are capable to sit in the audience. And I'm like, this is gonna be my last performance. And by the time I'm done performing, it's like I die right there on stage in front of everyone's presence. Which is so crazy. It's like it's like it doesn't make sense. Like this
I
is
won't
not
be there.
Yeah, but it's like, because at the same time, I think it could also just honestly be like a beautiful thing. Like I didn't die unhappy. I didn't die in pain. I died doing the thing that I grew up, the thing that I love the most, that I put the most energy in. That's what I died doing. So like, experience that with me and feel that with me as well, because you'll know that I was the happiest still dying. I was at my happiest point while still knowing my fate. But that's like super unrealistic, and it's like I can't know when I'm gonna die, but it's like
real shit. Nothing's really unrealistic. But yeah, you would have to know when you're gonna die or kill. Like
yeah, or just like put so much effort into dance that my body's like, huh?
Yeah, that's not even that one, but I do get what you're saying. So that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, let's get these rapid fire questions at you. All right. Whew. And also, when you brought up Jacob, like he's another one like you. To me, that when I watch, I'm just like this shit really means a lot to you.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
And it was crazy too. Yeah, like a lot of people don't know that he started off as a cover dancer too, because now he's a whole like in the battle scene. But we talked once, and he was like, I want to get, because he was at Reveal. He took like 10 classes, I think, and he was killing shit. Like, and I've seen his footage. He was going crazy, and like for someone who hasn't really been in choreo, who like took like time away from choreo to focus on like battling and freestyle, like he was still killing shit like a professional choreo
like,
would.
He's that guy when it comes to that. He's just good.
Yeah.
Like he likes it and he's just that good at it.
Yeah, and he was telling me, he was like,
can't really do.
Yeah, he was telling me, he was like, I want to do more of choreo now too as well. And I'm like, bro, it's great. And yeah, like I said, seeing him at Reveal, he was killing it.
The link up with y'all would be dope.
Yeah.
Like, seeing what y'all could create together. I would like to see it. That would be a dope like link up, freestyle and choreo both.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'd want to freestyle with him more, because I've taken class with him before, but I feel like because we've sessioned before, but I feel like I'd much rather just like have like a conversation, like a back and forth with him freestyle more in that sense, because I can see that he can kill choreo, like choreo's choreo.
Yeah.
So, but I really want to understand the freestyle too. Especially, like I said, like he went on to Red Bull. He was on the fucking Red Bull lineup for people representing USA. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was sitting there crying. I went and I watched, and I was just like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm like, that's insane, bro.
Did you go?
Nah. I don't know what I had going on that. I definitely had something to do that day, but if I was free, I definitely would have gone.
Fuck. Next year, you definitely got to go, though.
Hell yeah. Next year, I'm gonna try and be in that lineup as best as I can.
Me too. Nah, let me sit my ass down. Nah, cause like I be really like feeling myself sometimes when I freestyle, just because I have spent a little bit of time around that community where like I understand like a little bit about it, and so sometimes when it calls for freestyle, I be like, let me go in here and like do a little something, because I know y'all don't really fuck with like that. But I went through around 2020 through like 2021, I was trying to mix with both communities, but I was more so like just using the freestyle community just so that I could like have some shit in my pocket that I
I
could use and
understand
shit
that,
like that. But I wasn't trying to like be the battle guy. I was just trying to like leech and shit like that. I was just trying to like.
No, I understand that though.
What y'all be doing out here? Oh, you do that kind of shit? Oh, is that? Because I just really want to understand my body more and like how to use it when it came to that. So I was definitely like around the motherfuckers too for a minute. But
I definitely have freestyle goals too. I want to fucking win a Red Bull event. I'm going to win a Red Bull event one day, like a whole world championship. And me and Max, we talk because one of the goals we have together is that we do what like Nimbus and David did, because they ended up being finalists and they're like best friends.
Yeah.
And so what we both want to happen one day is we go through so much fucking like this city, that city, and then to end up on like the world fucking championship, and we want to like hopefully the way everything gets set up that me and him end up finalists and that we battle each other. And yeah, that's
some step up shit.
Yeah, like that's really one of our goals. We just want to battle each other on that big of a platform, just to see what happens.
Why not?
Yeah, and like I said, we do these freestyle exercises, and so I told him, I was like, when that day comes, when it happens, because I really believe it's gonna come. I was like, when that day comes, we're gonna do a ringer. We're gonna do an exercise right then and there live. And not no like simple shit like only waves, some crazy like no arms type shit. Like we'll just do it then and there live. Fuck it, you know. So yeah, I can't wait for that day to come, and I can't wait to see who wins. Like I feel like the more me and him both get into the battle scene, I feel like there will be more than enough times where we battle each other. So for it to be like a world championship, I want to see who comes out on top. And who like what our like scoreboard is, like 1-0, 2-0, or whatever. Yeah. Like I just want to see what the future holds for that.
I really want to see your future too, because I'm like, man, this man got plans and he sounds very, very serious about it. Yeah. Like I really want to see all this shit that you talk about come into fruition, and I feel like it will, because you got the passion behind it. So it'll happen. But we definitely got to get the fuck off of here.
Rapid questions.
If my shit cuts off, I've never gone this long before, so I don't know what this storage can take. I don't know if the camera's even recording anymore, but hopefully it is. Yeah. But we gotta do the rapid fire question game. Got 3 questions for you. Okay. They're not really rapid fire questions, but they're like some quick questions that I gotta ask you. All right, so the first one is, who is your dream backup dance performance, like with the artist?
With an artist? Does it have to be someone who is still performing, or can it be like, if I was alive when they were?
Oh, sure, that one.
Yeah, Britney motherfucking Spears.
She's not dead.
No. I know she's not dead. I'm just saying she's not like performing
right now.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like, my dream would have been to like be one of her backup dancers when she was on like back in the early 2000s when she was on tour, like like especially Slave for You, like bro, like I would have loved to have been able to do that. But if it had to be like someone that I could dance for now, if it has to be like a performing artist, it'd probably honestly be Chris Brown, because he gives a lot back to the dance community. And even with Summer Too Hot, he invited every single person that he's ever hired as a backup dancer to be in the Summer Too Hot music video. And like I said, one of my directors, he danced for Chris Brown, and so he got asked to be in the video, and he went and he did it.
Really?
And yeah, it was crazy.
Is the video out?
Yeah, it's been out.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's been out.
Damn.
It's been out since
it's
the
called
summer.
Too Hot?
Yeah, it's called Summer Too Hot.
I might not have heard that song before. I don't lie to you. Hey, Summer Too Hot. How it go? Summer Too Hot? I don't fucking know. I definitely got to watch that one after this.
Yeah, it'd probably just be Chris Brown.
But Chris Brown for sure, like the one that's like actively going on that you'd be. I like to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna lie though. I wouldn't say Chris Brown, because you know why? That shit look hard as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you.
My director, he taught us the choreo for Summer Too Hot. Yeah, that shit was difficult, but it's fun. Like I could definitely go up and do it on stage, but that shit, yeah, it was difficult.
God damn.
And like Josh Smith, bro, bless that band's fucking mind. Like, bro, Chris Brown just dropped another song, fucking Sensational. That choreo's insane. He ka around and ka, like I love that choreo.
Yeah, I just don't want to fight for my life on stage. You know, I want to I want to be able to have fun and enjoy myself, but still do some cool shit, but not be up there like dying,
Yeah.
reaching for the moves.
Oh shit! Or you know who else? Janet Jackson.
Out, dude.
Oh.
That's the one too. What I'd be down for that one because she's
Yeah,
like
no
the closest
questions
thing we got
asked.
to like Michael at this point too.
Yeah.
It's just like I'd be down for that one. That was really cool.
Oh, or another artist that's active today, Beyonce. I'd
yeah.
probably take Beyonce over Chris Brown.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
I mean, I'd probably take Beyonce over Chris
I'm trying
Brown,
to think about
but
their choreo.
But Chris Brown's performances are definitely more like dance heavy.
Yeah.
But it's the thing, like, I danced with Beyonce.
Right.
I think I'd rather choose. I think I'd take Beyonce over Chris Brown.
That's a resume like thing that you could
Yeah.
use for literally anything at
Yeah.
this point right now. Like Chris Brown too, but like you say you dance for her, like yo, the job is yours immediately. And so, and they get paid really well, I heard. So that'd be a good one. Who is your hero?
I feel like I have a bunch of different heroes for a bunch of different things, but if I had to like choose my main hero, and this is probably such like a basic answer or like an easy answer, but it's my genuine answer for like life in general. It would definitely have to be my dad, cause like seeing him and seeing the kind of man he is, it's like I would love to be half the man he is, but also like where the parts that I need from him as a dad that he doesn't give as much, that's also what shows me what I would then give to my children. So it's like I've learned so much from my dad, and like really it's my dad that who's given me that mindset of like if there's a will there's a way, like always find your way around it, like I don't know. And just growing up, he just always showed me that nothing was ever impossible, that it couldn't exist, and he never let me like bitch out over anything. It was always, and maybe that's just like the Mexican man mentality, but it was always like no, keep going, no, don't stop. And he always pushed me to just be able to do more than I thought I could. Like when I was able to do a fucking handstand, he was like, okay, now walk. And I'd like do like a few, and then he'd be like, all right, now go down the hallway and back. And so he always pushed me to just be able to do more and to show me that like just because you're here doesn't mean there's not more. And he's also shown me that like to never get too happy or too comfortable, because again you could always just do more. And that's like a pro and con, because like I'll do something that makes me super happy and I'm like, okay, I did this, I accomplished this, I'm happy, but now what's next? Because it's like I don't want to enjoy this for too long and then feel like this might be like the only thing that holds me through or whatever. Like say I get a really big gig like dancing for an artist, and then the tour ends, and then that's just all I have. Like, no, what's next? What's then after that? What more can I do? And he's always put that in my head growing up, and I'll just forever appreciate him for that. And just like I don't know, just he's always shown me that like I said, just nothing's impossible. And my favorite memory with my dad, there's a picture of that day that I'm gonna get tattooed somewhere on my body one day. But he took me out to play basketball. We were at the park for hours, but I didn't want to stop. I was having so much fun. I was like, we're just playing basketball, going 1-on-1, and then it started raining really bad and like thunderstorm, and like the water was so heavy. Like I remember it hurt, like feeling the water hit us, so much so that, and I was like, Dad, like we have to leave. It's raining. And he was like, why? And I was like, what do you mean why? Like it's raining. And he was like, yeah, but are you having fun? And I was like, yeah. He was like, do you want to stop? And I was like, no, but it's raining. I'm going to get sick. And it's so fucking funny. He looked at me. He was like, why? Why are you going to get sick? And he's like, it's water. I was like, it's water. And he was like, do you get sick every time you take a shower? And I was like, no. So when he said that, I was like, all right, let's keep playing, and we played for like an extra like 30 minutes before my mom came, because she was like dead worried that something happened to us, and she was like, what are you guys doing? And I was like, we're playing basketball, and she was like, yeah, but it's raining, and I was like, so. And yeah, and my mom was like, "You're gonna get sick." And it's funny because when she told me that, I was like, "Mom, you don't get sick when you take a shower, do you?" And so I repeated the same shit my dad told me fucking 15 minutes before. And then she like took a picture of us, and she was like, "All right, fine, I'll leave you guys." And she left, and we stayed for like an extra like hour. And I was just that like, that's really what like just put that like it's constant drive, just keep going, like no matter what the odds are.
Dude, that was
Yeah, even though
story,
even though that's something simple as like playing outside while it's raining, it's still like no matter what's going on, just fucking keep going, because what's the
Yeah.
worst that could happen? Like, like I wasn't gonna get sick for playing in the fucking rain, so it's like I'm not gonna lose my career for trying to do this or that.
Right.
Like, so yeah, my dad and I love that man so much.
Fuck it. I want my son to say half the shit you just said about your dad. That's like, you did a good job. Like that, man. That was a beautiful story. Fuck. And then the last question is the question that I ask everyone. What is your go-to song that puts you in your feels? You probably got like 8 of them, don't you? You probably got like 9 or 10 of them.
Yeah.
What's that
Feels
go-to?
like emotional.
Yeah.
There's this one song, because I have them for different occasions. I'll give you maybe like 3. There's one song by Chance the Rapper that makes me really, really emotional, because it takes me back to being like an innocent child, and like the song literally says like when the summers all lasted forever, and literally I like, yeah, because I look at myself, I'm like, I'm a fucking adult now, and I'm like, bro, there was a time where I was just like riding my bike in the neighborhood and not knowing what life is, not knowing what, what's gonna come of life, and I was just this little kid just enjoying myself, and like summer used to feel like it was so long, and then being in high school, it felt like it was nothing, and I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's by Chance the Rapper, and it just always brings me back to being a child, and it makes me really sad because I feel like I didn't get to enjoy my childhood as much. I feel like I had to grow up really fast. To now, I try to do so much to heal my inner child. Like when I did Urbanite, when Jimmy invited me to be a part of his Urbanite set, when it was over, I texted our group chat. We had so many like emotional conversations that I started, and I was telling them that like it really healed my inner child just to do Urbanite, because like I said, growing up, what got me to dance, watching all the Step Up movies, like that's all just fucking crews that were built together. They're going to a club and they're performing, they're showing off, and so to actually have that, to do that like in real life, even though it's not exactly like Step Up, Step Up's a movie, but to have something similar to that, it fulfilled my childhood heart so much, and so that song, it all just reminds me of being a child. And yeah, and then there's this other song. It's called Atlantis by C Fret. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Cyphered? Or
Seafret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a really really hard song for me to listen to, because it's mainly just all off of this year and something that happened to me very terribly this year, and how well that song describes it. And what I went through this year was with a second party, a second person, and they're actually the ones that showed me that song. And it like it's such a, like, I can't really listen to it without really like tearing up a little bit, at least every time. And yeah, just like I don't know, just it's super depressing, but yeah, it makes me tear up every time, and it brings me back to everything that I've gone through this year and a little bit of last year. But at the same time, because me personally, when it comes to
being sad, and this is also why like I dance emotionally the way I do, is because I'm very grateful for being sad, because if you think about it, you can't actually know and appreciate happiness if you don't experience being sad. And it, like I said with dance, you can't get better if you don't suck again. It's the same thing with emotions. You can't really know and appreciate your happiness if you don't also appreciate being sad, because it's like you have to overcome being sad. So overcoming such a hard time and something that hurts you so bad to then be happy again, it really makes you appreciate that happiness so much more. And that's a conversation that's the thing I try to tell all my friends is like, I understand you're sad, but it's at some point you're actually going to end up being grateful for this, and you have to feel every single emotion, and in order to be able to really appreciate what happiness is. And when you are happy again, you're gonna appreciate being sad, because it's like I had to be sad to be happy, because if you're just happy your whole life and you don't really understand other emotions, it's gonna get kind of boring. You know what I mean? So I am very grateful for moments of sadness. And then there's another song that is definitely on my playlist right now. Maybe not, but there's one song that reminds me a lot, and it's kind of dark, that reminds me of also dark times in my life. But Suicidal Thoughts by Biggie.
Okay.
That's a song that like I like relate to it so much in like certain ways, because it's like at one point, like most people like genuinely like have suicidal thoughts, and people attempt and whatnot. And when I hear that song, it's just like it really brings me back to time, and I relate to certain parts of it. Like he speaks on feeling like he's a piece of shit like son to his like mom, and I've had so many moments of that, because I'm.
You hear a phone ringing?
Yeah.
Is that my phone?
I think so.
Oh shit. Well.
But yeah, because growing up, I wasn't the best son. I probably still could be better to this day, but I'm definitely better than I was growing up and being a young adult and trying to figure out my own life. And so there's a lot of things that I did that I regret, that I know put my mom through so much. So yeah, that's definitely a song that's up there. And then also one of my favorite artists, his name is David. He spells it D4VD. He makes like sad shit, and every single song, I was like, bro, I relate to it. Like I relate to it from start to finish, every single one. And he dropped 2 EPs this year, and I listened to both of them, and I'm like, bro, every single song. I love all of his fucking songs.
Damn.
What's crazy is that he's on tour with SZA right now, and he's younger than me. He was born in 2005, and I'm like, what the fuck? That feels so weird to me.
Oh my god.
But I really want to meet him one day, and because I do so much shit to his songs too, and I really want to meet him one day and be like, bro, like thank you for, because the kind of artist you are allows me to be even more of the artist that I am. So you give me more of an outlet to be able to create. And I also, if I ever do get to meet him, I will 110% like no shame. I will definitely pitch the idea of like us doing something together, because I would love to do like a live performance while he's performing live, where it could be like an emotional thing.
You DM'd him yet?
Huh?
Have you DM'd him yet?
Hella yeah, I tag him every time I post shit about him, but he's like all famous and shit now, so it's like it's hard to get in contact with someone like that big. Like I said, he's on tour with SZA right now, so it's like yeah.
He's
But
in the moment right now.
yeah, but I definitely hopefully at some point meet him, maybe at a concert. He was in Chicago not too long ago, just alone as himself before the SZA tour, so he was still kind of like not that widely known, and the tickets were only like $20. And I really wanted to go, but I was performing somewhere else that same fucking night, and I was like, God damn it, I can't fucking go. But yeah,
It'll come. Your time will come with it.
yeah.
if it's meant to be, also it'll be for sure. So
Oh yeah.
I'm hopeful. But damn, dude, like I need a playlist of your songs. You know, I got a playlist of like songs that make me feel stuff too. So like, I think I need yours. I think I need yours because
You know, I got hella songs.
yeah. But
My Tough Fish too. That's someone else I wanna.
dude, that song you got, "Fall in Love with You," that shit makes me sad as fuck.
Every single one of his songs, and what sucks is same thing. I relate to every single one of his depressing ass songs
That's crazy.
from start to fucking finish. Every single one, and one of my favorite ones is "I Just Want to Feel Your Love Again," and for years it's only been like 30 seconds, but like I said, I've been going through something super deep this whole year, and so that was one of the songs that really helped me. But just recently, he released a 4-minute version of that song, and I'm like, I'm so grateful. But at the same time, I was like, bro, I'm doing a million times better now. I was like, I wish I had that song earlier this year. I wish I had the full version earlier this year because it would have helped that even more. But regardless, his songs helped out so much.
Yeah, that dude is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of his songs too.
Yeah.
They're also very sad. So
Yeah.
I can't just be like, I'm in a good mood. Let me comb my tail. Cause nah, motherfuckers looking at me like I'm fucking crazy and
Yeah.
shit. So
Yeah, no, you gotta.
gotta balance.
Yeah.
But damn, we've 2.5 hours. Longest
I
episode.
expected that, low key.
Bro, you
I
broke
could
the
talk
record.
hella.
Like Nick, I thought Nick was going because Nick hit 2 hours.
Huh.
We broke the record, so like you've got it right now. So
Yeah,
it's just,
bro, I could talk about dance in my life for forever, bro.
I would go longer, but I don't
Yeah.
even know if my shit is able to hold this kind of storage.
Yeah.
But fuck it, dude. I mean, we here now. But before we go, is there anything that you want to plug or like promote that you got going on right now?
I mean, I guess if anything, it would be my Instagram rebirth of Czar, spelled Czar. A lot of people come up to me and they're like, Caesar.
That's what
I'm like,
that's what I thought.
bro. One time, I think it was fucking Terry motherfucking Turner. I was doing a battle. He was the host, and he said Caesar, and I was like, it's no. He goes Caesar, and I'm like, oh, it's Czar. He goes Caesar. I'm like, fuck. And then when I met fucking Nikki Zamora, she was like, who's Caesar? I was like, bro.
That's
Shout out Nikki, but I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why does everyone think it's Caesar?
It's your name on Instagram. Like,
I don't know, but I don't get why people think it's Caesar. Because even I got that name. My favorite. Damn, you see, I could go another 2.5 hours just talking about Busta Rhymes and how much he inspires me. But, bro,
dude,
I'm gonna save you that.
that's why I asked you what your last name was. I thought you were gonna say it was Caesar.
Nah, but
you was like, no, it's Mercado, and I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting.
But yeah, I got it from a Busta Rhymes song. He released an album in 2020, October of 2020. So it's been 3 years now, but that's really like the only project of his that I've been able to like experience, cause like extinction level event, like I couldn't experience that. I was a child when that shit dropped, like all that, like that's all old school shit now. So it's like for him to drop, and the album he dropped was part 2 to that album, ELE. So for me to like experience an album, like I just loved it so much. And my favorite song was Czar, and Czar means like the king of everything, like the top of everything. And in that song, he's basically talking about like, yo, like I've been doing this shit for years. I've been rapping since I was like a teenager in high school, and I'm still killing every one of y'all. I'm still in this shit. I'm still relevant. Like people still talk about me, and I'm still like lyrical. I still do this. I still do that. And so I was like, that's how I feel. Like no matter what happens, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be on top, and I'm gonna be smoking people. And that's not egotistical, because one of my directors told me, he was like, you're allowed to know that you're dope, and you're allowed to admit that you're dope. You don't always have to be like all that humble. You're allowed to know that you're dope and express it, because you can't act like you're not good. Like if you're dope, like stand on that shit, because you're dope. So when Busta Rhymes came out with that song, I was like, yeah. So when I started battling more, I was like, I'm gonna definitely go under Czar. But that's the thing. When I read the title in my head, I was like, oh, that just says Czar. I was never like Caesar. I don't know why. And like for example, again, when I was talking to fucking Nikki, and I was telling her like, oh, it's Czar. She was like, oh, like Tony Czar, and I was like, how the fuck? I was like, how the fuck do you see Tsar and you think that's pronounced Czar, but you see Czar and you just think that's Caesar? I was like, I don't understand that. I was like, how do people just know that Tony's last name is pronounced Czar, but you look at Czar and think it's Caesar?
I know it's Czar because I've heard people say his name, Tony Czar. When I saw your shit, I saw both of them.
Bro, what fucking sucks is that it's also an acronym. I won't say what, because that's just another like mysterious like detail behind everything that it is. You could if you pay attention though and look behind the lines, you could find what the acronym is somewhere
on your page.
In general, you could find it.
I'll be looking. I'm looking after this.
Yeah, and it all means something. But what sucks is that I'm like, damn, what if I just fucking drop the C then and just have it Zar Czar? But I'm like, but it all means some shit, and I kind of like the way it is, and plus it's exactly off the title because there's different way like Tony Czar. There's different ways to spell Czar. Czar, Csar, Tsar, Tzar, Ctsar. Like there's so many different ways to spell it. So I took it straight from the Busta Rhymes song because I was like, that's what inspired the name. So I'm just gonna take the name exactly.
Now, so you can't change it.
No, but that's another thing. Like you know how like Jamie Foxx, his government name isn't Jamie Foxx.
It's not.
No.
Oh.
No, that's it's like a celebrity name.
That's weird.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's not. His name isn't Jamie Foxx. He has like a whole
like Marcus or some shit.
Yeah, basically. But I like the idea that actors and other celebrities do that. So that's why on like my name thing on Instagram it says Rico Czar, because it's like I just like the idea that like I'm Rico, but I'm also Czar. I'm the Czar when I battle, when I'm doing a stage name. So it's like I'll just take my actual name and my stage name and just make it one whole thing. So if people like believe that my name is Rico Czar at one point, like I won't mind. Like everyone believes Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx and he's Jamie Foxx. So if I'll just be Rico Czar to the world, I don't mind.
How did you think that my last name was pronounced?
Amos. Oh God.
Nah, sorry, bud. So apparently nobody in the community knows how to say my last name.
Bro, I'm actually so good with like knowing how to pronounce it too. This girl came up to me. Her name is Cachet. And she was like, do you know how you pronounce my name? I was like, yeah, it's Cachet. And she was like, you're the first person to ever say that. And then she was like, spell it. And I got one letter wrong because I said C instead of S just because I was like put on the spot. But I meant to say C. And she was like, how the fuck could you even like spell it right? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just good. And I was even like, I also know that in the E that's in your name, I know there's definitely a line above the E that gives it the cachet. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm just really good at shit. So this is the first time I've ever been fucking like I've ever fucked up a name.
Yeah, bro. Everybody like Zay. She was like, "Yo, I listened to your podcast and I didn't know your last name was Amos. I thought it was. I thought your last name was Amos and not Amos." And I was like, "It's definitely Amos." So everybody in the community thinks that
Did I not just fucking say Amos or something? I said Amos?
You said Amos.
Oh,
I think you said either. You said Amos. Yeah, you didn't say Amos.
No, I never said Amos. Never mind.
Yeah, but Ron Amos, everybody.
Well, that would have been my second guess.
I would hope so. There was only so many ways you could pronounce it.
Yeah.
But let's sign off. This is gonna be a bitch to edit too. But hey, fuck it, man. This is my life. So thanks y'all for watching. Make sure you follow Rico at Rebirth of Caesar on Instagram.
Rebirth of Czar. You can follow my TikTok too.
TikTok.
On my TikTok. So I don't know if I can tell. I'm super into fashion.
Yeah.
That's what I do on my TikTok. So I mean, if you're into that, I don't even know what my TikTok is.
I think it's the same thing, isn't it?
No, it definitely isn't.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
Oh, it is.
No.
Well, it's not Rebirth of Czar, but it is Rico.Czar. CZAR.
And I'm gonna link all that in the description. Follow me at Ron_Amos_, and all my stuff is in the description. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating for the pod because it helps a lot. And and I'll see y'all next week.
You're gonna have to release like the full version, just like off a link or something.
Dude.
Just put it in a drive and put it in the description, like full version.
Dude, no, like it's all going up, like the whole thing.
Oh shit!
The whole fucking thing.
Hey, if you stick through to the end, much love and appreciation.
Someone will, like at least
Definitely.
there's because you don't, dude. When I look at the analytics, I'll be shocked every time. So like they'll watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll see y'all next week with another episode.